Hello, welcome back everybody. 5 facts, I'm copying this bit, that you didn't think you knew about our campaign. You won't believe number 4. Yeah. Firstly, Vincent, although he has long black hair, actually has a significant bald spot on top of his head that you've never seen because he never takes his hat off.
That's probably why he never takes his hat off.
Exactly. Number 2.
Number 2? Oh
yeah.
No!
Fact about Aubrey.
Oh no!
That we wouldn't know. Random character detail. We love putting Fiona on the spot.
Go red.
Aubrey doesn't go red.
Nice.
Aubrey doesn't
She's
go
a
red.
barbarian. She rages.
No, she's beyond. Fact number 3. Yeah. One about Theren.
Okay, right. Instead of what one would expect, Theren is smooth like a candle.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Off the cuff as well. Didn't even think about it.
Number 4, Sam.
Gotta follow that.
One about Blue. A fact about Blue.
Blue's got a vagina.
I told you wouldn't believe number 4.
I said in episode 1
What's number 5?
that he was hanging dong while slaying rats.
That's true.
So Ryan, what's number 5?
Yeah, number 5,
I still don't think we've had a decent number 4. I think that's a cop out. Come on, a fun fact.
I don't know. He's I don't know.
The miniature figure of Blue is constructed entirely. Ryan, this is where you zoom in on the video.
Yeah, no.
Too much hardware.
Too much hardware.
Entirely out of blue tack.
There you go. That is a cool fact.
There you go.
That is very cool. It is a genuine blue tack figurine.
I mean, if you'd given us this before, I could have prepared.
There's a whole fun of it, isn't it? And fact number 5 is that the Athena actually is a name copied from another ship, from something very famous, and I forgot after session 1 what it was.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody knows where I copied it from, I'd actually quite.
Are you sure you didn't copy it from the Greek pantheon?
No, I thought I think they must have got it from that.
Is it not that philosophy thing where the ship Athena then it's replaced plank by plank?
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be Greek. Oh, I don't even know. Anyway,
philosophy degree in action.
There we go. Right, welcome back. So actually, this session is session 13 technically, but is effectively session 1 of the second chapter of our story. So the first chapter is kind of done. The introduction, Beggar's Bowl. You guys all survived it.
There's a new intro.
Just.
Well, there has to be a caveat on the end of you guys survived it.
Yeah. Little sort of speckled star. So this is sort of chapter 2 as you venture into the wider world. But just as a quick recap for people that need to sort of get back up, I'm going to put this up on YouTube, sort of give it a new, what do you call it, like a playlist so that people can jump into this one if they want to start in.
So Xerieos chapter 2.
Exactly, the first 12 episodes are total gold, so you want to watch those as well. But it's been quite right. Our 3 adventurers, we have Aubrey, the human barbarian, we have Theren, the half-elf paladin, and yeah, exactly. We have Blue.
Hello.
There we go. The dragonborn bard. All met as passengers on the Athena. Back in the day, you were all taking passage to Yibrit, which is a big city in the middle of the inner sanctum, a collection of scattered islands in my world of Xerieos. Go back to the first episode if you want information on that. I can't be asked to go over it again.
Xerieos is a world.
No. The Wind Waker.
Yeah, Wind Waker.
Hills of Eternity, Deathfire.
So we joined the characters as their Athena, the ship they were travelling on, after a few days of travel, was boarded mysteriously by rat folk, salt goblins, creatures of the night that essentially came, looted, stole, burned, and then effectively jumped ship with all the stuff. The party surviving the first terrible night
somehow
woke to a damaged ship, but the Captain Grumac, eventually managed to bring into port on an island called the Beggar's Bowl, a dangerous, uninhabited, or uncivilized island. And actually, I've done a map since we did the first episode. It's an island 250 miles away from Yibrit, and slightly off course of Gelen, the stop before.
You know what you should do right now?
What?
In the corner of the video, which I believe would be that way for Sam and I, and that way for you two.
Yeah.
You should pop that map of
I should. I can do a little basic map. Yeah, it's not going to be the full thing because that's secret.
Oh.
But
I'm just giving you more work.
no, I know you are. It's fine. I'll
Starlight,
give
You're
you
giving
character
me work.
Yeah, Sam. Starlight.
The party got off the Athena and went into the Beggar's Bowl looking for supplies to help fix the Athena. You had 3 days at the time to get as much as you could before the ship departed without you. You were warned of dangers on the island, but otherwise left to your own devices. You were warned of 3 random tribes of individuals, ogres, tabaxi, and lizard folk. Their book of knowledge that you were shown before you arrived was a little hazy on the details, and with good reason. You found yourselves in a complicated and nonsensical pattern of alliances and hatreds between these 3 tribes.
TripAdvisor would not go again.
Exactly, but not unfortunately before Aubrey was slain fairly early on, fighting a giant crocodile that dragged her under the water, and Theren did manage to get her out. I think you managed to get her out, didn't you? So
Yeah, we killed the thing.
yeah. After a difficult evening of revelations and bad dreams and lightning hitting the centre of the island, Theren took the party into the centres of the Beggar's Bowl, a small island in a lake where a rift of some kind, or a portal, had been created into the Feywild, where you met an individual, a Fey king called the Bear King, who promised, or certainly seemed like they were going to help with matters so far. They could bring back Aubrey from the dead, but in exchange for help in her task, obtaining a platinum necklace of leaves, an ancient artifact lost to the Fae eons ago that he was looking and felt was nearby. You took up his offer.
Just outside the portal somewhere on this island.
Exactly.
Go and have a
He's
look.
hazy on the details.
Whereabouts is it on the island? I just know it's outside the portal.
No one's sure.
I have no concept of your distance. Great.
You ventured back out. You found the help of Vincent and Odie, 2 fellow explorers kidnapped by the Tabaxi. You managed to diplomatically rescue them, enlisted their help, tracking down a hag.
Chinese!
Yes. Actually, a small coven of hags that were haunting or certainly plaguing the island at the time. You killed one, you found the den, you killed the other, you stopped some sort of ritual bringing about some sort of creature that was evil in some way, you would guess. And eventually you ended up bringing Aubrey back, not before gaining the alliance of the Tabaxi by essentially instigating partial genocide on the lizard folk.
And regicide.
And regicide. Regicide is all the important bit. Yes, you killed the king. We joined the party after a wild night in Fairbreeze, the Tabaxi village hung high in the trees of the Beggar's Bowl. Yes, they can. The party has been escorted early in the morning, too early for some heads, back to the south coast of the Beggar's Bowl, where a boat was waiting to take them back to the Athena. Several passages backwards and forwards, and eventually again you found yourself on the Athena, a battered but still sturdy and reassuring sight to you, the ship out by some of the outer sort of rocks, still hiding somewhat from something or some fear outside. The masts currently, as the ship sort of is towards the afternoon, late evening, so the sun begins to set, the masts now have been raised, a series of winches. You all would have been enlisted to help. You're all a very strong party, getting these mast posts back in place, the sails hung up again, all the ropes re-engaged. Blue, your skills as metal worker were very...
Finally into use.
Yes, no. Definitely, you helped sort of install some of the rigging, the ropes, with, again, a very good check last time you were on. You knew what you were doing, or you could at least guess what you were doing fairly well. And you all wait the departure of the Athena. The only other thing is that Captain Grumac himself confronted the party over a missing cylinder of arcanite, some sort of mysterious
I don't know anything about that.
crystal that Aubrey has a connection to. Aubrey's family, without her knowledge, dealing in this illicit substance that's being transported to Yibrit. I think we left that on the fact that you had managed to convince Grumac that you didn't know what had happened to it. Clarification.
He's assumed that we used it to revive Aubrey after she
That's
died.
the one. There we go. I knew I'd missed a tiny bit in my notes. That's it.
Tiny detail.
And the last episode just ended. Aubrey had already stormed out, and Blue and I just left the captain's office.
Yeah, exactly. And we pick it back up a few hours later.
If
Unless
possible.
you want to do something,
No,
you
no,
can
no,
drag it back.
I want
Drag
to
it
do
back.
something as soon as that door is shut.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so I want to turn to Blue. I'm like, we need to talk somewhere quietly, alone.
Okay.
And I want to just drag him off to wherever I think that no one is going to find us.
Well, actually, outside of the captain's quarters, there are several, unfortunately, unoccupied rooms currently of several of the senior staff who were killed in the attack on the Athena previously. So you can make your way into a small room, close
I
yourself
go in
off.
one of those, shut the door behind Blue.
Yep.
I need your help.
Okay.
You are far more convincing than I could ever hope to be. We need to convince Aubrey to return that vial.
Okay, because otherwise creepy gangster people come kill us.
I'm not scared of the gangster people, but my worry is that what would happen to the Athena.
Okay.
Now, these people sound dangerous. If they don't get what they're after, then this could be the end of Grumac, his crew, all of it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk to... I mean, Aubrey did charge out the room before Grumac could really explain all that, so it'd be good to relay that anyway.
Yes. I'm anticipating she might be a little bit resistant to the idea.
Well, let's give her all the facts. It's her decision in the end, but she needs to know how much pain and horrific misery she will cause otherwise.
Yes. That is a wonderful way of putting it, Blue. Let's do that.
Okay.
Alright, let's go find her
Can
wherever
we
she's
have
gone.
food first?
I'm alright, I'm quite full from earlier. Also, my stomach's a bit...
All those sausage
Okay.
rolls from before the stream.
Right, let's go find Aubrey.
Plays into D&D, yeah.
So we would like to go and try and find Aubrey.
Whilst they're doing that,
Right.
two things if possible.
Okay.
I want to find a place where I can hide the scroll
Okay.
and see if I can find a similar scroll case. Like a decoy scroll case.
Okay. Right. So, first of all, where would you like to think about hiding it?
I have an idea, but I don't want to say it out loud.
Okay.
So can I write it down?
You can write it down?
Sweet.
Yeah. Let me know. Secondly, in terms of finding a decoy scroll case, you know that there is assorted cargo below decks. You can try and make an investigation check if you like, to see if you can find something similar.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sorry.
Your problem is that the scroll case itself is... Well, actually, no, it'd probably be to your advantage. It's fairly nondescript.
Sorry,
It's fairly...
I misspelled something that was really funny.
Oh, it's okay. I'll understand.
No, you will.
You're laughing at your own typo.
Nothing wrong.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. So, what I would like you to do is make for me... We're going to make 3 checks here. We're going to see whether you pass them all. So, firstly, make a stealth check to see how subtle over the next couple of hours.
Thing. I know I said previously that I hadn't attuned to the Luckstone. I've got them down here.
You had attuned to it overnight.
I think I said I probably
yeah,
wouldn't.
well, I think we
have
ruled
done,
that you had overnight because you had accepted it and it was on your person when you...
Excellent, that's a +3 to stealth.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's 11.
11, okay.
Stealth.
Now make a sleight of hand check.
Okay, you know I'm going to roll in the box now, so that will be another
roll in the
plus-
tray of doom.
another +3. That's an 18.
Okay, and lastly make an investigation check.
That's
for
going to
me.
be +2. That is an 18.
18. Okay, you think you find something that would work. Again, it's the nondescript nature of the case. You've managed to sort of go below decks whilst everybody's busy and swipe something similar.
Perfect.
And yes, you think you've been fairly stealthy at hiding it
Excellent.
in said location.
Yes, excellent. So I want to have hidden that scroll and have the decoy one on me.
Okay, perfect.
Just wanted to make sure that
Easy
was
enough
clear.
to do. Easy enough to do.
And
Okay.
then I will just stand around looking haughty for a bit.
Very easy to do.
And I presume we want to go find her.
Yeah. Wonderful. Over the next couple of hours, you are very much kept busy, actually. You're sort of all eventually picked up. You're all brought onto deck to help with the maintenance. So you all find each other fairly quickly. It's easy enough to talk to each other if you need to, but you're all above deck, helping out as best you can. Sort of maybe an hour before sunset, as the sails begin to really look like they're being unfurled properly. It looks like 2 masts have been salvaged. You can see the first central mast was fairly undamaged in the fight. The second mast, whilst the wood itself has taken some damage, actually with the new canvas and the new rope, all of the damage is sort of very crudely but has been replaced. There is a fully working second sail. Grimac mumbles to himself about it being stuck open, but it is up and it would work.
He's just old.
The third mast, unfortunately, there was no replacement wood sourced, so it hasn't been put back up, but you've got 2 fully working masts, which is pretty good.
So which mast are they? The front
first and the middle.
Yeah,
the
so not the crow's
back
one.
mast.
Oh, okay.
No, the mast on the back of the boat by the
center.
the wheel.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember if it was like...
Exactly. Yeah, so the boat's a little top heavy, but it'll do. It'll do. Grimac pulls everybody aside. Right, here's the plan. On a good day, the Athena can travel 3-4 miles an hour. We won't know how fast the Athena will travel until we get out to sea. We have 2 choices, effectively. We can either go backwards to Gelen, which is only 50 miles away, but that would take us through whatever territory or wherever area this threat was last. I mean, we'd be putting us back into danger's route, and also we would be going away from Yibrit. It would be taking us away from our location, and I think you'll all agree that time is of the essence here. Yibrit itself is 250 miles southwest. If we were travelling at full speed between 2.5, 3.5 days, we won't know until we get there. We'll need all of your help to keep the ship moving as fast as we can. We are effectively limping, not only in terms of the ship and the damage we've taken, but also in terms of the capacity of the speed that we can run at, the guard we have, the crew we have. We will be working around the clock, but I think getting to Yibrit is our priority right now. Unless anybody objects, we set sail at sunset.
We've come too far to turn around. To Yibrit?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
About half an hour or so before this conversation, the familiar yet strange sight, it looks like you kind of expected it to. A smaller vessel pulls into sight as Odie and Vincent's ship. Tiny in comparison to the Athena, barely 25, 30 feet across, a single sail with sort of a topper, what do they call it? You've got the main sail and a small sort of topper sail.
Oh, you're asking the wrong people.
It is built for maybe 3-4 people at a stretch. It has no indoor cover. It is a ridiculously small sailing boat, but still.
Is it gaudy though?
It is beautifully done. The sails sort of blue and yellow. You can actually see the crest. And Aubrey, make me a history check. Actually.
Ooh, history check.
Yeah.
That's a +2. Oh, it's a 6.
A 6. You can't place it,
Gone.
unfortunately.
Good
There's
stuff.
a crest on the side of that. As it sort of pulls into view, as you hear a "Tally-ho! Ready when you are!" and they sort of dock up and lower the sail and sort of bob around. And compared to the Athena, which sort of sits rocking slowly in the water, this thing is just doing this in the water. You just get the distinct impression that would be terrible to stay in. But they seem ready to go as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's not puked.
We can't see from this distance. Maybe it's just like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And eventually the Athena sails, shouting, the guards all being sort of frenzied. You are all given assignments, simple ones, but effectively helping to hoist sails, pulling up anchors, heavy duty, but simple stuff. It allows the crew to be essentially just released onto the more technical aspects of sort of manning everything, and you realise very quickly the front sail is literally glued together in some way. It's not doing much, but it will at least give the ship some momentum. So what I'd like to do as well is, and we're going to do this advantage because I remembered Blue's natural 20 on the fixing check from before, but what we can do is, can you all roll for me a d20? We're going to see how... Actually, just the two of you. Blue, you've already contributed to this. The two of you with advantage. Give me a d20 and tell me what you get.
Thank God
See
for
how well
advantage.
the repairs.
7.
7.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. It
Get off
seems
this boat.
like the repairs have done a pretty decent job. The Athena pulls itself out at the rocks. You can see Grumac at the wheel shouting orders. The crow's nest is manned by the surviving junior member of the navigation team, shouting orders down,
That small boy.
dodging the rocks, and eventually the ship gets pulled into the open air, and as soon as it hits, you have that breeze pushing from the east towards the west. It's a favourable enough breeze to take you to your destination, and the ship, there's a lurch as the sails fill themselves. The ship is rockier. It's slanted forwards as the sails at the front take the bulk of the weight and kind of push it forward slightly, but the ship moves. You get the impression the ship is not moving as fast as it would be, but it's fast enough.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Plodding along.
It's plodding along, exactly, with this wind half speed, which is not too bad at all, given the damage the ship had taken. And you all sail towards the horizon. You can see that Odie and Vincent take a path sort of behind and to the right, following you. You can see they kind of tack left and right. Clearly the ship actually more nimble and can move faster than you would expect, but still bobbing around all over the place. Every now and then it hits the wake of the ship and has to...
Who's steering? That's what
It looks like Vincent is the one steering, Odie sort of
Directs,
manning
yeah.
the
That
sails.
makes
Yeah,
more
exactly.
sense.
But they do
Yeah.
seem to switch every sort of couple of hours.
That's super cute.
Exactly. So,
It is.
what I would like is going to split some jobs up. I need one of you to be helping with the heavy lifting, one of you will be helping with the sails, and one of you will be helping by helping to keep watch. So everybody can take a task.
I can definitely. I'm very strong. I can. Not the.
Very
Toot my-
Aubrey can help with the heavy lifting. Okay.
Don't want to toot my own horn though. I'm very strong. Stronger.
Not very good at looking at things and paying attention. Should I?
It's not my strong suit either. However,
I'm not bad at it either.
Actually,
slightly less your strong suit than... I mean, you're
Aubrey's
probably
just good
better
at
than I am.
everything.
I do like the idea. I do like the idea of just standing around. So why don't you do all the hard work and I just stand around looking at shit?
Fine.
That's the Blue we know and love. So, okay, Aubrey, can you make an athletics check
I
for me, please?
certainly can. That'll be a 16 plus 6 now, so that is a 22.
22. 22.
it.
That's 22 for the heavy lifting. Good.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Blue, perception check.
Ooh, I didn't see anything.
That's a 2.
Okay.
Oh no.
So you do not
4.
contribute towards perception at all. And Theren, can you make me a sleight of hand check, please?
Oh, God.
18.
18. Okay.
Well done.
So the Athena's going to get a small speed boost.
Blue,
this
stop eating.
The Athena will get a small speed boost this day from the effort that's put in with the lifting, with the sort of helping to adjust the sails. You actually, Theren, begin to learn some of the tasks. You can relieve the crew, they can relieve you, and a sort of impromptu shift work is brought about, which stops anybody from having to work too long. Blue, you are just totally lost by the sight. You even forget to go up to the crow's nest. You are just wandering around, just seeing what you can. As night falls, the ship travels on. So you all, it's technically not quite a long rest because you're all going to be kind of brought into things. The shift work means that I think nobody took any damage from last time. You're all
We're
on a long
fine,
rest
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
If you've got any hit dice you haven't recovered, you will get those back now. So you are now at full hit dice. It's the only thing that would change. The day appears. So we started. So we left here. So we're now on the 27th.
It's got a calendar.
I've got a calendar. I've got a calendar.
23rd day of summer.
You watch as the sunrise begins. Maybe one or two of you might have been below decks having a quick nap. Some of you will be on duty. Very much transient tasks are brought on. Blue, you're very quickly taken off watch. Help with some of the menial activities.
I was on watch?
A confused looking Bram just sort of relieves you. Go get some sleep.
Okay. I mean, I've been doing quite... Yeah, bye!
About an hour after sunrise, there is a bell is rung, and a shout comes from a crow's nest of, to the east, something on the horizon. And luckily he rolled very high.
I knew he would.
Everybody sort of kind of like pushes themselves to the back of the ship, and you look behind you, and on the horizon are two shapes. It's difficult to tell, but actually make perception checks for me, see what you see.
Can I make another one?
You can. Now that you actually have something to look at.
Natural one.
Oh,
To 18.
8. No, 10.
Theren, you're convinced there's nothing there.
Right.
No matter how much they point,
Cool.
there's nothing there. Blue, it's difficult to tell. You spend most of your time trying to tell Theren where the thing is, and you get distracted by that. What did you get, Aubrey?
I got 18, but I like the idea you're pointing it that way.
Yeah.
She's over there.
I see it. Aubrey, you're looking over the sort of the railings of the ship. You see two shapes. One of them appears to be closer than the other, but it's only in the sort of the greyness of the horizon as the ships move further away, that sort of hazy light, the sun's coming up behind them. You can kind of see them silhouetted. The one furthest away, a huge bulbous shape. It looks almost like an island, but it can't be. It's almost like you would assume it's a ship, but other proportions that are not quite right. And much closer, but still a decent distance away, in full sail, is another ship. This one much sleeker, much taller. This time with 4 sails sort of poking their way up, all with black canvas on them, pulling themselves and sort of sailing in your direction. Grimac sort of looking at it. Crap. Something, whoever this is, I imagine, is most likely tied to whatever attack we had. He sort of thinks about it. No, he doesn't know what it is. No, he sort of looks at her. We just need to go as quickly as we can. But it's difficult to tell whether they're gaining on us or not. We seem to have given them a slip and have got a head start from the Beggar's Bowl. But if these are the same people, they've been waiting for us this whole time. They know we're damaged. This isn't good.
We could ask our friends in the skipper to have a... They're a bit faster than us. Maybe they could zoom in, then come out again, have a look. Just get a little bit closer. That's dangerous.
I mean, it's an adventure. If we pose to it, then it's an adventure.
Is this Aubrey saying this?
Yes.
Or Fiona saying this?
Sorry, I know it's very similar. We could pose to... No, I think it's dangerous. I wouldn't want to go back. Ways forward.
She's right. If something happened, we wouldn't be able to help. If this is an attack, then our best choice is to consolidate our numbers on here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's full speed or half speed. Yeah. Let's go.
We're at half mast.
Okay. Half speed ahead. With that, Captain Grimac, with a sense of urgency, starts pushing the crew forward. There's sort of movement. He sends some of the crew down to obtain spare materials. He's sort of looking and there's just sort of, whilst the ship is sailing, he's desperately trying to think of some way that he can get this last sail up in some way, but it's just charred and the wood is broken towards the top. There is a shout from below deck as sort of and just sort of clattering everywhere. Footprints and footsteps sort of making their way up the stairs. So, you know when you're gonna sneeze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're okay.
Okay.
Just this clattering, the echoing of steel boots up the stairs as Bram pulls themselves below deck and goes, "Captain! Stowaway!" And he goes, "What?"
Oh no.
Come with me! And pulls Captain Grimac and they head downstairs.
Ooh.
Draw, bear claw, and follow.
Ooh. I follow and I don't draw anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. Wonderful. You make your way below deck. Torches have been lit. It's much more hospitable down there now. You can see there's an effort that's been made to light the area up after the attacks of last time. And actually some of the canvas netting that separates the main deck from the, or sort of, it wouldn't be canvas, it would be sort of like a wooden shutter, has been opened slightly so there's some light coming down from the main deck into the first hold. As Bram is just sort of, you can see there's a large wooden crate, one of the ones that was delivered from a beggar's bowl, and the lid is sort of slightly ajar, and a very heavy crate seems to have been put on top of the lid to effectively stop whatever it is coming out of the crate. And he sort of says, it's in there. I was looking for some of the supplies and I opened it up and it was just hissing and I just put it back down.
Calm down. Is it a tabaxi?
He sort of thinks, well, what is a tabaxi?
The cat people.
Looks kind of like a cat on two legs.
He thinks about it.
They're on the shore with us.
Oh, yeah, actually, it may well be.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't actually go. Oh no, he did go.
He did go.
No,
it was frightening time. So
he sort of thinks, but yeah. Do we let them out?
Yeah, they're allies. Aubrey, could you use your incredible strength?
Say no more. It's such a charmer.
That's my stats.
Hold it, and it's a big sort of, as this big crate is lifted off and dumped to the side. You're not sure what's in that crate, probably just food of some kind.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah. And you see just sort of the gap where the lid has been sort of removed. There's a sort of,
hello?
Can I come out?
Yes, come on, Dresta. It is Dresta.
Dresta, is that you?
Yes.
Hey, Dresta!
Come on, come out.
I help her out, lifting.
Yeah, the lid is removed. You pull her out. She looks like a damp cat in a barrel, effectively. Whatever's in this crate, she's clearly been hidden for some time. Her hair is all matted and sort of slightly wet. You can see her robes sort of clung. She's sort of shivering slightly. But you can tell, like, she's sort of, there's a warm glow to her hand and her robes are sort of slightly glowing with a sort of faint heat as she's sort of lifted out. And she sort of, thank you.
What are you doing here? Running away?
She just goes quiet.
Drasta, for the love of Perith, why didn't you just tell us you were coming?
You would have said no.
No, we would have said no.
Yes.
Drasta, I tried to find you and your sister before we left to ask you to come with us.
We're going to practically beg you to come.
Easy, Blue.
No, she can make food with magic.
Can you make food with magic?
She thinks about it. Give me a player's handbook because I just want to check the spell because there is a spell that is
it's not
conjure food and drink.
similar.
It's not canon.
We did say this.
Retcon.
No.
You misheard her. As soon as she said food, you're like, food?
No, there is a spell like that.
Not like good berry.
No,
Make berries.
it's like, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, it's the food one. I feel like it's like create food, but it's not. It's called something different.
Conjure?
Conjure?
There's that crazy
What
one
have you
where you
found
use
it?
like a golden, but that's like 8th level. I doubt it's that.
Oh man, what is
I
it called?
only she was.
Guys, I should have thought about this.
She could just lie to us right now. And we would
Yeah,
be none the wiser.
let's skim. I'll look it up.
Creature destroying water.
Surrounded by water.
She can't even do that. That's not even a wizard spell. No,
Shall I look?
she can't do that. No. There's little she can do in that department.
Oh.
She was lying to Let
She doesn't know. She doesn't. You don't know.
retcon that.
Let's just say she can purify it. Why
There we
not?
go. There you go.
She can purify food.
God.
She sort of, you can see her just again, and this sort of, Blue, you recognise it, sort of like a small thaumaturgy of some kind is sort of heating her clothes
awesome.
and sort of drying her out. You can see her sort of slowly getting back to herself. Thank you.
No problem. Well, so why did you join us? Just see the world, adventure, learn more. Did you miss me?
She sort of looks up.
Okay.
All right.
She seems like she's shrinking away from the attention. It's difficult. Like the
Right.
more questions levied at her,
Yeah.
the more she kind of retreats up.
I look. Is there like a blanket or some sort of?
Yeah, something
I'll
like that.
like put it around her shoulders.
Yeah,
like,
she-
awkwardly.
Takes it.
Yeah.
Drasdo, you're not going to be sent back. Don't worry. But the Athena is in a sorry state. If you're going to stay, you need to help
She sort of looks at you.
with the running of the ship.
How?
Is Captain Grumac there?
Yes, he's
Yeah.
sort of looking incredulously on at Ursa.
Drasda, this is Captain Grumac. Captain Grumac, Drasda and her sister Saris helped us on the Beggar's Bowl.
I see. Well, it's a pleasure. And he sort of extends a hand, a big
I
sort of
kind
hand
of-
gesture. She kind of limply takes it and then like shrinks away again into the cloak.
Don't.
But she seems to very quickly adopt
Yeah,
it, just wrapping
absolutely
herself
fine.
into it.
I know cats.
I kind of lean to Grumac and go, don't let her shy demeanor fool you. She's a very powerful arcane user. Mage.
A mage? Please tell me, what can you do? And she sort of like, they're sort of more reassured into like a topic she can know. She scans around.
Oh no.
Magic as well.
The first thing
the
she
ship of fire.
sees actually would be, because Blue, you've been sort of stood next to her.
What?
As you're talking to her, you're trying to sort of help her out the box. She notices, and you can see her hand just sort of, there's a sort of a brief sort of glow, a strange light. But almost as she moves her hand, you can see, almost like in a disco, you know, when your hand sort of replicates itself behind, like a slight blur behind.
Creepy.
As she brings her hand and sort of briefly touches the front of your leather armour, where the impact from the last battle had felled you. You can still see while the injury closed itself up, your clothing is still ripped and scarred. And she touches it and all the leather work closes back up together, and she just sort of methodically takes her time and just repairs your armour. And then with that familiar sort of red glow, she then touches it and cleans itself.
Sets it on
And suddenly
fire.
Blue, for the first time in a long time, not only doesn't smell of swamp, but also his armour looks
That's quite
sparkly and
nice.
clean. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sort of familiar leather. That's sort of, it's, how would you describe Blue's armour now that it's sort of clean and it's sort of
He's kind of got a ramshackle studded leather shoulder pad and then this massive red sash. So I suppose the red sash would have hit the brunt of it.
yeah, all of the dirt on the
They're
bottom
holding
of this
together.
sash, as you've hit the floor a couple of times, you've been soaking in water. You had that sort of matted colour difference, and now you're gleaming again.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jess. See? She kicks ass. We could use some of that mending ability on the ship, maybe.
Yes, but don't we focus on the problem at hand, being the giant, I'm assuming potentially pirate ship?
I'd already forgotten
Grimac
about
sort of
that.
instance. Oh no, the blue may have a point here. Drasda, was it? Can you? And he sort of just is upstairs and sort of brings her up and sort of to the deck of the ship. You can see her. She's very timid of the ship and the ocean. It's still like she's not comfortable with it at all. But he kind of like brings her over to a bundle of canvas still on the back of the deck, burnt and charred. They have a sort of brief conversation, and you can see her with this power, just sort of stitching together small parts of this burnt canvas. You can see the burn almost seems to sort of retreat into itself, and patches of cloth sort of knit themselves back together, just small areas at a time. It takes a couple of minutes of watching and she gets the hang of it. They quickly between them start discarding the large patches of canvas that are completely burned. It seems like there are limits to this mending cantrip, but small breaks, small cuts, small burn bits she can fix, and over the course of sort of half an hour or so, unless you all intervene, she helps Grumac to repair some of the canvas work, mend some of the ropes, fit sort of damaged wooden planks sort of back together so that Blue can then come and hammer more pittons in and some of the steel work in, and you begin to start helping to fix the mast. That's anything else you guys want to do while this all happens?
If there's a space where she's just mending stuff and the party isn't doing anything, I want to kind of give Blue the and go and talk to Aubrey.
Okay.
I think I'm just looking at watching those ships if they're getting closer or how far away they're.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
It's been half an hour or so.
Oh, natural 20 plus 2 is 22.
Natural 20.
I say those boats. They're super close.
Everything.
The biggest thing you notice is that there seems to be a separation in colour between the two. Seems like this is slightly more pronounced. You would hazard, with such a good roll, that the bigger, more distant ship doesn't look any closer, but the taller, closer ship does appear to have gained a little ground. Not much, but almost difficult. It's just in the way that you're sort of sizing up from the other ship. It seems a little closer.
And quickly before these guys come and talk to me, what do I know about the weaponry on the ship? I'm guessing there's no cannons or anything like that.
So, you would know from some time on the ship,
Yeah.
the Athena does actually have 2 cannons.
Oh, what the fuck?
It does.
What
During the last battle, the ship was taken by surprise. The crew were dead. The cannon, everything was scattered around. Grumac, actually, you've heard him speak about the cannons before. He very much bought them as more of an insurance policy against sort of threatening behaviour. They've never been fired in anger, and his opinion of the cost of maintaining such weapons is such that you get the opinion that he would never fire them unless he really had to. Between the cost of whatever powdered explosive material goes into the cannon and then the cannonballs themselves, this thing is quite expensive to fire. You'd also hazard a guess that potentially the people in charge of firing the cannon may be dead.
So that sounds like a promotion for Aubrey. To be honest. I'll probably go down.
You know what the armour is well. So there's crossbows on the ship. You've got other sort of weaponry.
Us trying to catch up with that.
That sounds too banal for Aubrey. Yeah, I want to see if I can get the cannons ready to go, basically, or try and work out how to get them to go, and how many cannonballs we have, or as much as I have in terms of
Easily enough.
I'm beginning to think we're being avoided.
With a little bit of time, you maybe enlist a couple of crew to help you, just sort of showing you where things are.
Right, guys.
It seems like the cannonballs, weirdly, were kind of left alone as very sinkable items. They probably would have been taken out of the ship and just boom, straight to the bottom. There are only probably about 7 cannonballs on the ship between the 2 cannons. The cannons have been set up so that there's effectively one each side of the ship.
I thought that'd be the case.
There is a indent on this would be in the second cargo bay, second level, where effectively they could be pushed forwards and sort of a flap opened, they could be pushed out.
Okay.
But they are broadside cannons. They can't really be aimed left or right.
No,
it's purely just
about
it's in front of me, bang.
Is it possible then to move one of the cannons to one side then? To have 2 on one side so that if the ship needs to make an attack, they can sort of wheel round?
No,
Cool.
there is no second
Damn.
space, unfortunately.
That's fine.
You guess that the entire cannon would have to be brought to the deck.
Right, we'll
To do
do that.
something like
We're not
that.
going to do that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be at
But you are eventually caught, as you see probably Aubrey maybe on the second deck, sort of going through and adjusting this cannon.
Hey, Aubrey.
Can we talk?
Yeah, I know this is an exceptionally bad time.
It really is, boys.
But just to start things off so you can think about it,
Okay.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
Could we start the training again we were doing? You know, heavy weapons.
Right now?
No, just. I'm sorry I said no earlier, and I do really want your training. That's it, and just mull over it. Okay, nice to see you. I wonder.
I carry on with those cannons.
Aubrey, stop, please.
Yes.
We need to talk.
About what?
About what?
Look, if you want to take Blue's training, feel free. Like, I've got bigger things to do.
He doesn't mean right now. Right.
Oh.
Are we near anyone else?
You don't think so, no.
Right. We need to talk about what it is that you took.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. I'm tired. Please, let's not do this. Look, the item
Yeah?
in the case,
Yeah?
you need to return it.
Why?
Because there's more at stake than just money here. If the captain doesn't get it back, the people who wanted this will destroy the Athena. They'll ruin the crew. They'll probably kill a few of them.
You think I took it for money?
I don't know why you took it, but it needs to be returned.
Well, no, because I took it for a reason. My voice gets higher. I don't care if anyone hears me. I'm proper like, no, we're having an argument.
You are
right
below
now.
deck at this point.
That's fine,
so-
yeah. Look, back on that beach, I told you what had happened to me. And then you're all like, well, we can make changes, we can do that. And then as soon as some other fucker tells you that, oh, things are pretty bad, you side with them, not your friend.
Right, listen to me. What is it that thing is going to do for you?
Well, hopefully, it will damage my family's reputation.
And?
They're clearly up to something, worse than what's happening here.
Yes, but with the lives of how many people will be ruined, if not worse, for it. Can you live with that?
Could you live with the fact that this had potential to hurt who knows how many? We don't know anything about this.
Exactly, we don't know anything about it, so we don't know how bad it could be, whereas I'm looking at the problem right now.
So you would rather leave it right alone than go and investigate what this is?
I'm not saying that we leave it alone. I'm saying that we investigate it, but without ruining the Athena, the ship that we fought and almost died to protect.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Oh, snap.
Then that's on you.
I'm happy to walk away from this.
And I'm an evil.
I walk off.
Okay.
It's not cool when you copy someone.
Oh, you master it. Yeah, you.
No roll. Oh.
Oh, bollocks, Theren, sorry. I forgot you wanted
Aubrey,
to talk
he
about...
looks like a knob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Totally.
I forgot we were going to talk about the other thing with her. Did you speak to her about it?
Yes.
How did it go?
Terribly.
Oh.
She doesn't... Well, I don't know if she doesn't care as such, but...
Oh. So she's willing to sacrifice the crew, the ship?
It didn't seem to have that much of an impact. I can't talk about this anymore. I go help with the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go help the ship.
Wonderful. Well, that is exactly what you'll be enlisted into doing. So, the second day, can you all make similar checks?
I'm going to suggest that Blue and I switch.
Okay. Yep.
I'm happy to do heavy lifting
Well, am I
by
doing
myself.
sleight of hand?
Yes, you're doing sleight of hand.
Yep. Sleight of hand, perception, strength.
Strength. I'll let these
Oh,
guys.
actually, I'm good at that. I've got proficiency.
Oh. Ooh, 15.
15 for sleight of hand, did you say?
No, for perception.
15 perception. Okay, yep. Sleight of hand.
15?
15 again.
23.
23. Right, again, the ship.
I'm going
It
to fall
moves-
overboard at some point.
It moves fast. It's a good pace. The ship sort of picks up some wind. It really starts to drive itself forward. You can see actually after sort of a couple of hours, Drazda has started climbing the burnt mast and is sort of superficially repairing bits as she can, but is helping Grumac, as the ship is physically sailing, to reassemble parts of the mast. You realise actually that Drazda is incredibly agile at climbing. She can hold herself upside down, using her tail to sort of effectively lift up the mast and hang upside down. At some point, with rope coiled around her, Grumac has sort of winched himself up as well, another member of the crew. There's a point where there's a rope needs to be tied to a long sort of mast effectively and coiled around her. She seems to conjure this hand that sort of grabs the rope and sort of starts hooking it around, some distance in front of her. And they make a decent, we'll see how good. Check how many hit points.
She falls out into the water.
They do a decent job. It doesn't look like that mast is fixed, but it certainly looks like they are bringing it back after the first day's work. Their middle and central parts of the mast have been put up, and maybe the bottom sort of wooden splints have been re-established. So, perception check of 15, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Over the course of the day, you watch as at that speed. So it would have been... Okay, it looks like the ship is gaining. Whatever this distant one is actually being lost slightly. It gets smaller and smaller on the horizon, but the first ship is now closer on the horizon. You would guess probably about... you'd have to go up Crow's Nest to see, but potentially about 10 miles away.
Okay.
Behind you, but it is gaining. The visibility on the sea is when you catch the waves, right? Especially from up high, you can see for miles on end. But as the sun sets, it's definitely closer.
What are Odie and Vinny doing then? Are they coming aboard the ship at all, or are they just...
No, well, there doesn't appear to be an easy way to get aboard whilst the ship is moving. The two of them, occasionally you can communicate with them over the board, you can just shout from one side to the other. It's noisy, the waves crashing.
As long as they know about I assume they have seen the ship.
They've been alerted, but they're sort of towing left and right. Eventually, once it sort of gets a little closer, they sort of pull the sail up and they really sort of accelerate a little bit, pick the wind up and start sort of towing ahead of the boat effectively.
Bye.
Instead, but they're that.
I call down any updates as I see them.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Okay, so the day ends. So what I'm going to do quickly.
So much drama.
Okay, so overnight you all are effectively expected to do shift works, and it begins to get tiring. The pace that Grumac is pushing you all at is relentless. Can you all make me a constitution saving throw, please? You do get sleep. It's not that you don't get sleep, but it begins to get difficult to get full rest doing the work you're doing.
17.
17?
21.
21.
8.
Oh.
8. Theren, you unfortunately take a point of exhaustion. As physically you are beginning to get tired. The constant work, the toing and throwing, you just haven't had a chance to rest, and it begins to get to you. So 1 point of exhaustion means you have disadvantage on ability checks, but it will go away once you take another long rest.
Bloody hell.
Oh, sorry. With that long rest from before, does anything happen with from the first day? Does anything happen with my constitution and strength scores at all?
No.
No. Cool.
Because you haven't really had a proper
just making
rest.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah. I
it's
had remembered.
easy,
yeah. Okay.
Also, has anything? I'm not checking, but I'm guessing no one has gone and found my scroll that hits anywhere.
Okay. You want to check over that?
Yes.
Yeah. Easy enough to do.
Okay.
Make me another stealth check.
Oh, I was hoping to avoid that.
So 12.
Oh, as a 30. No, as a 18.
18.
Sorry.
Okay.
Damn.
It's still there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, the sun rises again. 28th and last day of summer. Still that warm breeze in the air, the sun coming down through the sky as it picks up. The ship, as you wake up, is much closer. You would imagine maybe 2 miles in it as it gains. And now that it's closer, you can see more detail in it. The sails are not quite of a solid black. It's a mottled grey and black, almost as if a lighter sail has been stained with some sort of tar or ink or some sort of substance. You can see movement on the deck of this ship, scurrying movement of multiple individuals. It's almost like a sort of swarmed movement. You can't quite pick up on how many there are, but there are lots of individuals on this ship. And 3 large banks of sails, but this one taller than the Athena. The front sail buckled as it's being pushed as quick as it can. And you see at the front of it, there appears to be a smaller creature that's sort of been tied onto the front with like some sort of device on their front, and he sort of is pointing and shouting. There's another one at the front that just seems to be banging a drum. You can't quite get the detail, it's still too far away, but it's something is coming closer.
And these things look small? They're not like human sized?
From the distance, it's difficult to tell.
Fair enough.
Just thinking, I've always got my fly spell. So with consent, that's always an option. Maybe we want to do a bombing run or something if we know these guys are bad.
If they'd attacked us, with any long range weaponry, they would have done it so by now.
No, they could be waiting to get within broadside range.
Yeah.
They are about 2 miles away at this point. I mean, even you would know at longbow range could probably hit a quarter of a mile at a push. Like it's
I don't know.
But
beyond.
Maybe drop some flaming tar on their masts.
That's a good idea.
Dangerous, really dangerous.
Tabaxi friend, she does stuff with fire.
Can you do 2 miles, Dresta?
Just the sort of thing. No.
Let's keep it as an idea if we can get closer.
I can. The scorching rays.
Okay.
More than I have.
You pass me first hand back, I'll tell you the range. She would know the range, but 2 minutes
It's not 2 miles.
No, I think it's more than you would think. I think it's several hundred feet.
Really?
I
could fly. Carry just.
Only 120 feet. You're right. Eldritch Blast is 120.
Yes, it is. Yeah. If they get closer, could you Scorching Ray the masts?
Yes.
Would one ray punch through more than one mast, do you know?
I don't know, but 3.
You shoot 3 rays. Okay.
Alright, well, we can keep that as an option, because if we're travelling at speed...
3 on the front, or 1 on
the main
each?
one? Or 1 on each?
Surely the main one is the biggest buckled one, right?
Yeah, so if you aim all 3 on the middle one...
I thought it was the front one. That was the most buckled one.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know anything about boats.
You can see it. I can't see it from
Which one looks the biggest?
Okay, looking at it, the central mast and the front mast look like the 2 biggest. The front mast seems to be the most sort of filled with wind, and the second mast seems to be the biggest in terms of that's where the crow nest is. It's similar sort of feel to the Athena, but a much sleeker, much taller. It does look like a faster ship.
Is Grimac anywhere nearby?
Yeah, he was sort of keeping an eye on the crow. You can see bags under his eyes. He's looking tired. You would hazard a guess that he probably hasn't been to bed since the Athena has left.
Captain, if we need to choose one mast to burn of theirs, which would you suggest from your experience?
Central, I would say. Central followed by front. The front mast is much more manoeuvrable. The central mast is very geared to the steering of the ship as well. The back, you will push it forwards, but I mean they will all work. But any damage to the sails, if we can literally knock the wind out of its sails, it won't be able to catch us.
All right then. Drasda, stay on alert and ready. Do we have anything else that we could use to set one of the other sails alight?
I don't really. The one thing I was thinking of, if we're not flying, which, thinking back, is probably not a good idea, right, guys, is I've got a fog cloud. So I can maybe use that as a way of giving us some sense of escape. So they can't see us, so I just engulf their whole ship, well, 20-foot radius, in fog. So anyone on the the top who's thinking of jumping across to us. They can't see for shit.
So you can do that at range. It's not from you.
Yeah, 120 feet.
All right.
That's pretty impressive.
So we can take out one of the masts, hit them with the fog cloud.
I've written it down somewhere.
Right.
But obviously, it would be harder for us to hit them as well
we
as
just aim somewhere else.
And then
Well,
we just-
how big is your cloud, did you say?
20-foot radius.
Well, if we're hitting the masts, I imagine they'll still be pretty visible.
That's true. Yeah. Just screw the people on the poop deck.
I actually agree with the idea of being run here. I think targeting the sails would be the easiest way of doing damage. The masts would be more permanent damage, but I imagine wooden structures at distance are more difficult to ignite. You saw when we were boarded, the creatures physically were at the bottom of the masts trying to light them like a bonfire. And even then, they managed really on one of them.
So that's Dresden and myself being useful. What are you two doing?
Would Eldritch Blast be of any use?
What sort of thing does it do?
Sorry, no, I was asking you.
Me. Yeah,
Hello.
it's force damage, so it's
Yeah.
effectively like smacking something at distance.
Oh, all right. Then what
It's like impact damage.
Yeah.
Like
I might be able to hit the sails with force in the opposite direction. It may cause some sort of stirring or tremor in the ship.
yeah, any damage you can do to the sails, they will rip, and the wind physically blows through them. They can't pick up the same speed.
Right, then I'll be ready for that as well.
Great, perfect. Well, we push on. If we can keep ahead of them, that's fantastic. But if they come into range, then we'll all be prepared. He sort of thinks about it. The only other thing I can think of, and hopefully it won't get to this, but the steering mechanism of the ship will be on the back of their boat. If they do get close enough, aim for that. It might be that we can damage their steering mechanism and then take evasive action themselves. But remember, if they get close enough for us to fire at them, they likely will fire back at us, and they will go for the same areas: our rudder, the sails. So we have to be prepared to fix any damage as well as.
They're going to struggle to aim and they're covered in fog, but yeah, we're still at danger.
All right, sails first, rudder later.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. That seems like a plan. So, Grimac is going to push you all once again. Split the 3 tasks up between you. Remember, Theren, you have disadvantage
Yeah.
on ability checks, so you can take whichever one you want.
I'll do perception since that is the least relevant at the minute.
Always good.
Sam?
Sleight of hand, 15 again.
15 again.
Nice.
That is an 18.
18.
Brute power.
Oh,
Natural one.
Natural one.
Natural 1 on perception. Okay, you don't help.
I'm focused on the ship that's there.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Okay, the ship begins to gain and gain with every wave, with every crest. The ship pulls a little bit closer forward. When it gets within a sort of mile distance, you start hearing noises, that sort of chattering, the sort of chanting of sort of notions. About a mile out, there's a sort of crooked sort of noise as things are lowered from the side of the ship. You can see wooden hatches begin to get lowered, and long wooden sticks, oars, begin to be pushed out of the ship and lowered into the water. And this sort of rowing mechanism starts, and the ship behind begins to pick up more and more speed as it sort of pulls in. It gets within 900 feet, 800 feet.
I go down, get the cannons ready.
Okay. You're getting the cannons ready.
Yep.
It looks like it's getting close. Where would you all like to be effectively as well?
I'm going to be... it's coming from the rear, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be on the back. If possible, just on the very edge, armoured up, shield out, bear claw ready.
Okay, perfect. And Blue?
I'll be keeping an eye on Dresden. So
Dresden.
Who I assume is also there.
Yeah, where's Dresden? Near the back of the ship, she'll kind of follow you around. She actually, now you notice it does follow Blue around a little bit.
Oh, friends.
Got a crush.
quickly, Aubrey, and Theren, we're going with the... Oh god, it's coming really quickly. We're going with the shooting mast. Should we be at the back? That's where we are going
Yes,
to
that
shoot it.
seems to be at
Sorry,
the
I
back.
thought we were going the other way. Yes, do.
Yes.
Let's go, Dresser.
Okay.
So the three of us will be at the back.
Perfect. Right. 700. 600.
I hold my action until it gets within 120 feet range.
Yeah. 500 feet.
I load the cannon.
The cannon, which, remember, it does point sideways.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come alongside. No, don't worry, I'm just getting it ready to go.
Okay, perfect. So, what we're going to do, take a break there.
No! Damn it!
And we'll come back to this as the ship. And you, to be fair, again, a nice set of rules that the ship is moving at a fair speed, but it's still gaining. We'll come back and see how these guys approach the fight. See you in a sec. Bye! Hello.
Chris Cram.
Don't worry about me. I'm just stuffing my face before the tape. Because I'm a really grim person. Right, we're coming back to this. So, I've set up a little camera. It's, I think it should be sort of important that we specify that, yes, Vincent and Odie's ship has been represented by a horse on a sleigh.
Of course.
Or a horse on skis.
Horse on skis.
It does look
The
like...
only way to travel is by horse on skis.
So,
don't you know?
The Athena is at the
God.
front. What we'll do is if we get your little character minis and we'll put them on. So
Oh,
you're
no.
all towards the back.
But where's Colonel Mustard?
Colonel Mustard!
Sorry.
No!
Aubrey
Yeah,
fact.
you had
She
one
doesn't
job.
have.
Get an Aubrey figure!
It's coming.
It's the tub.
It's the tub.
Where's the tub?
Oh, is the tub still in the
The tub's
thing?
not here. We're so professional. Right, never mind.
Aubrey's,
So-
no, Aubrey's below deck anyway. I'm not on the top of the ship.
That's true. That is true. Aubrey's below deck anyway.
I will still
But
get-
what
I'll
we'll
still
do,
get
We need a Drazda though.
we need Drazda
Ooh.
out and we need Colonel Mustard.
Well, alright, Colonel Mustard, I got.
That's fine.
Who do you want
So
to
the
ask?
Athena is the round ship in the middle of the map. The red ship towards the back is whatever this approaching vessel is. As it gets closer, you just, this noise, this constant sort of like calling, chatting, shouting, as these creatures approach you. You get that familiar sound and familiar sight of the rat folk all over the ship, swarming, almost looking like they're going to push each other out of the ship. There's that much physical mass in a small space. It writhes around. In between, you see those grey, specked, toothy, beaten up looking goblin figures, those salt speckled creatures, appear with an element of authority, kicking, whipping, beating these rats into shape as they scuttle around. They're crawling up the ropes down the sides of the ships. This ship looks swarming with these creatures. And it's sort of, now you think about it, it's who knows what might have happened, but potentially as the Athena was sailing at night, this ship sailed ahead, dropped the creatures into the ocean, and then whatever this large thing is still on the horizon following manages to pick up or sort of collect, you don't know. But they definitely, that last one seems to be following you still. But the map is slightly out of sync at the moment. The Athena itself is about 150 feet in length, give or take a couple. So each square is about 25 feet. So what we'll do is we'll go 25, 50, 100, 200 to here, 300. So as it approaches, it gets on, you can see it just on the camera, as it gets sort of approaching. It hits that 300-foot range and a few things happen. The flinging of bolts and whistles of arrows start just throwing themselves from the front of the following ship towards the Athena. Theren, you're probably the first to react at this point as you sort of, oh dear, bring up your shield reflexively.
I would also want to stand in front of Drazda since we need her fine.
Yeah, she can like lie prone on the ship, keep herself sort of fairly out of the way. You can use the sort of backs, cargo is brought up, boxes are brought up to give you shielding. You've all got cover effectively against the shots. So what will happen is we will roll to see if anybody gets hit on the top effectively.
Ooh.
So Theren, I mean, roll with disadvantage at the moment. Actually, no, with your cover, you're not going to get hit. Blue, Natural 20, no. Aubrey is below deck.
Can't hit me.
Let's see if the crew get hit. No, everything's alright. These sort of, the bolts are
Just
flying.
whistling past.
Exactly. So, what we're going to do is we'll take initiative now. The ships will act on initiative 20. So,
Speaking of initiative 20.
what did you get, Theren?
20.
20! You can go first, because you're a character. Do you want to roll Drazda for me as well? She was just a flat roll.
16.
16 for Drazda.
Nice.
Okay, Blue?
14.
14. And Aubrey?
Measly 7. After all those good rolls, it's now.
So what we'll do is the rest of the crew, Grumac, they're all going to go on the ship's go effectively. It's sort of it resolves itself. You are the 4 that are going to change matters. Oh, actually, now I say that.
I was going to say, what about Bram?
What about Odie and Vincent? Oh, they go.
Grumac
And Bram and all.
No, they're all going on the ship's go.
I've got characters for them ready.
Okay, right. So,
They're in the wings.
Theren, it's about 300 feet away. You're the first to react.
Okay.
You can sort of. What would you like to do with your turn?
Okay, I want to order anyone who has anything flaming to get ready, take aim, and hold for it to get within range.
Now, the crew don't really have. There's no like flaming arrows or flaming bolts. You
Shit.
haven't quite got ammunition like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a war boat. There are torches on the boat. It's probably the closest thing. You've got certain.
Do we have any barrels of gunpowder?
Yes.
Okay, right. I want to order Grumac to get one of the barrels of gunpowder, push it overboard, load his pistol.
Oh my god.
Wait, no. Don't push it overboard yet.
No.
Hold it. Have his pistol ready, and when he thinks he can shoot it and blow it up so it's at their hull, do it.
But, yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
That sounds good.
So you order the barrel gets delivered effectively in your turn, yeah, and relay this plan. That's fine. The ships, the guards on your boat make your way to the back of the ship, and they start returning fire with the crossbows. You can see the bolts just start flying. None of the fire from either side at this range appears to be particularly accurate. With the rocking of the boat, the bolts either land wide or they land and splash into the water before. You think they're going splash into the water.
I have a question about Eldritch Blast, if I may.
Yes.
I'm assuming its range is 120 feet, so it's not disadvantaged. Just after that point, it dissipates. Is that right?
You don't know.
Great.
You've never actually tried it.
Would it?
was like
Will
a laser.
have given those orders been my whole go, or could I
It's
attempt
more.
it?
It was a more complicated message, and
Yeah,
I'll say just your action this time.
That's,
but next
that's
time,
a better
time,
thing
yeah.
than me just trying
Yeah.
to hit it.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The crew, you see Grimrack shouting orders. The crew start to descend down into the deck, and they start looking to obtain this gunpowder for you.
That's mine.
Vincent and Odie's ship, they'll sort of be sailing the ship. They're going to drift 25 feet to the left just to give themselves a little bit of sort of clearance. But otherwise, they're sort of staying out the front for
I see.
now. Drazda is going to
This is properly.
have a think about this because she has the Firebolt cantrip, and I have a feeling the Firebolt cantrip has slightly higher range than everything else. Let me
My
just
bolts,
check.
yeah.
Firebolt, 120 feet. Oh, they're all rubbish. No, that's fine. She's gonna keep herself low. She's actually gonna spend her turn trying to pull bits of cargo and create like a sort of bigger defensive wall for people to hide behind. So building up the barricades. You feel that if it started taking damage, maybe that extra health would help. You don't know. Blue. Still about 300 feet. Oh, I should point out, sorry, in the ship's turn, it starts to approach. So it starts to gain distance. Pulls to 250 feet.
Whoa.
It's about there.
There.
Wonderful. Blue, would you like to do? So 250 away.
250 away.
Yeah.
And every turn they're gaining on us.
About 50 feet.
And Scorching Ray, she told us, was 120. So it's a couple of turns till that kicks in. Okay. I'm going to cast, use my hurdy-gurdy to cast Bark Skin on Drazda, because our entire plan centres around this one spell she can do. And
Okay.
I'm going to give her inspiration so she's going to hit when she does hit.
Yay.
So I'll go, oh, Dresda, when you came and you killed all those lizards and then stowed away, oh, Dresda.
Wow.
Amazing.
Holy
She
shit.
is very inspired by that. Fantastic.
I can't hear that. I'm down in the
Very
hole.
inspired. Thank you very much. Right.
I will remember you have that.
Perfect.
Oh, Dresda.
So, right. Anything else you want to do, Blue? Is that your go?
That's all my go.
That's your go. Great. We now go down to Aubrey.
Yeah, just getting the cannons ready.
Okay, at this point the cannon is sort of locked in. You've
Yep.
got the ball. You've got the gunpowder.
Yep.
You're sort of like, I think I know where this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm just waiting till it gets presumably pulls alongside. That's what
Okay.
I'm going to wait for.
At this point you can't see a
No,
thing.
I just hear shouts from above. So
Yep.
I'm just going.
Perfect. Okay, we now go back to the top, Theren.
All right.
200 what did we say?
250,
right? Yeah, I can't quite see.
Okay. Am I within shouting distance of Aubrey and Vincent?
You...
Odie and Vincent.
Sorry.
Sort of
Odie
looking
and
back, they are just sort of giving a rough range, 50, 100.
They're quite far.
About 350 feet. You can certainly try.
Right, okay, then I want to yell to, is Odie driving or is she steering?
Odie's currently the one on the back. Vincent is steering the ship at the moment.
Okay.
Odie, you can see he's got her longbow out.
Great, okay, then I want to yell to Odie, prepare your longbow. If you can, get some sort of fire arrow. If the captain misses, you have to hit the barrel.
Okay, roll 2d6 for me, please.
Could I borrow a d6, please,
Yeah,
dear?
I've given it.
Could I borrow your other d6, please, dear?
I've got 2 of those.
That is 9.
9 times 50 is 450. So you shout and the breeze picks up
Your voice.
your way as that's the way the ships are
I
going.
bellow more
Yeah.
than I've ever bellowed before.
And there's a recognition and movement as the sort of heads clock you. You see what they do on their turn.
Great.
Yep.
Jolly James!
Very good.
Is that going to be my whole go, or can I give it
So
a...
that's you're shouting. No, that's a free action.
Great. Then, you know what, I'm going to just look at Bearclaw and think, fuck it, and just stab towards and see if Eldritch Blast will work.
You hear that sort of the Eldritch energy sort of roll for an attack.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. The arcing energy just crystal out. You almost sort of like arcing. It keeps on track somehow as the wave just sort of ripples around the central target. It sort of shoots out for a second or two and eventually dissipates in the air.
Pretty scary though, right?
I mean, that sort of rippling green and purple and black sort of maelstrom of force that comes out. Yeah, it looks cool, but it probably clears about
from the path of light.
half of the way, you reckon?
Right.
That was cool. If you could do it again when they're in rage.
Yes,
Is
that
that
was the
inspiration
ideal.
thing you're doing?
No.
Okay, that's it.
Anything else?
No,
Right,
that's
the
it.
ships are going to exchange fire. Okay, and then everybody on the ship.
What AC does Black Skin give to us?
16.
So 17.
Whoa.
Does it stack?
Okay.
So can I can't.
You can't set
It
on fire.
wouldn't make you any better.
No, as in.
Targets can't be less
Okay,
than 16.
right, so there are
I'm thinking
two hits.
Oh,
Hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for Drazda, 4, 5, 6 for the crew.
Okay.
So 5 hits. So some of the bolts fling out, and you can see them impacting, and a couple hit some of the crew. There's like fire on the crossbows. You see their bolts have hit and have landed in just this mass of fur and sweat and just writhing material, and seem to sort of hit something, but nothing so much. But the crew have taken a few wounds at this point. So it actually closes another 50 feet. Let's do that. So it keeps coming closer to about 200 now. Okay. Vincent and Odie are sort of shouting to each other, and you can see that they cut the sail and drift to the left. So they actually start to lose speed. So they drift 50 feet back and come a little bit to the left. Yeah, there we go, like that.
Oh!
Sort of come in and they start drifting to the side.
Do you want to move the camera slightly so you can see them?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
There you go. You can see
you
it now.
got them.
Perfect.
That's it.
Drasda is sort of still there. She actually has one other spell that might work.
Fireball.
I'm so going to draw their ship as this giant thing with
Yes!
the horses
And
like
it's-
bow.
It's gaudy as fuck,
No,
so it's fine.
That's also got 120 feet.
Yeah.
Every spell in the game has 120 feet.
It's definitely one that's 600. Though,
Yeah,
right?
there's loads of extended ones, but she's a wizard, unfortunately, not a sorcerer. God, this is just so
But when
off-piece,
she
isn't
doesn't
it?
make it.
So, she's just going to start building the barricade higher and higher. She kind of looks around, just sort of so that she's got cover, effectively.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Blue,
200
200 feet away.
200 feet away. Not a great deal I can do. I'll run down and cure wounds on one of the crew.
Okay.
Wow.
So you start using. So you're on first level, second level.
Yeah, just first level. They're only crew.
Your instrument can do it as well, actually.
Oh yeah. Oh.
With the instrument, perfect. So, just tell me what you roll on a d8. I
Okay.
should have kept check on this.
So it'll be this plus 5. 8. I didn't need to cross anything.
Okay,
That's
25.
still
So
good,
8.
though.
It all adds. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're fine.
and actually, you managed to. One or two of the guards had actually taken some bad crossbow bolts and were really suffering. But you pick out the worst ones. There are some injuries with these bolts, and you realise as the ship gets closer, it's not just a couple of bolts. It starts to just start firing and raining, almost like sort of a 300 style. The sky grows dark as you get closer to the ship. It is now. Aubrey, you are still below
So
deck.
I'm holding my action till I see it. I'm not doing anything else.
Okay, perfect. You're staying down
Yeah.
there. Great, Theren, 200 feet away.
Okay. I would like. Okay. I have a question about bark skin and what it would do
Okay.
in terms of. I know it gives AC,
Yeah.
but I want to know if that AC can also stack with other spells.
So, bark skin, you touch willing creature until the spell ends, the target's skin, blah, 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 and the target's armor class can't be less than 16, regardless of what kind of armor it is wearing.
Yeah. Now, I searched this up online because it's really vague.
Yeah.
Really, really vague. But
Yeah, that doesn't tell me
effectively,
anything.
what you've got to do is you've got to work out a character's AC, and then you compare that to 16. So if they've got shields, if they've got armor, anything like that, their dexterity modifier, you work that out first, and then you compare it to 16.
It's like a
So
minimum.
Drasda's is less than 16, but with Barkskin, she still can take cover. So cover is what she's got at the moment. But your spell would effectively improve her regular AC, which Barkskin has kind of replaced, so it wouldn't stack.
Okay, thank you very much. Then in that case, no, because that's melee range.
Yes, I was looking up levitate.
Um,
Because it went so well last time.
Fly.
I'm thinking of the
It's
guy
200.
steering.
Yeah. No,
it's
good.
200 feet away.
200 feet, yeah.
Is that it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing else I can do right now. I'm just gonna keep holding my action for it to be within range.
Okay, perfect. The ships will exchange fire again. We'll see if the guards can do much in the way of damage.
Actually, wait, can I use my action to dodge instead?
Yes, you can. You can use
Because
dodge.
it's not going to get within range of my
Dodge
spell
action
right
is
now.
fine. But for you, it's more sort of like
Yeah.
Spartan, keep low
Yeah.
with your shield up high. But yes, you can.
Yeah.
But
It's not going
absolutely
to get
fine.
within range this round, so...
The crew are desperately firing at the ship. You can see a couple of them are now trying to hit the sort of the sails, but the bolts just are flying away and they can't quite get any sort of impact. Everybody on the top deck, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me as the ship brings another 50 feet closer?
Oh no.
1, 2, did I hit?
So it's...
So it should be now 50, 100. I kind of lost the scale a little bit.
We're at 200, right?
So now
We're
at
at
150.
150 now.
We're now
So,
at 150. Cool.
25, 50, 75, 100, 105, 150. Yeah, please,
Oh, nice.
to that hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Just kind of do that. Perfect. So, dexterity saving throw.
13.
You get advantage on this because you're taking the dodge action.
Oh yeah.
13. Also,
Wow.
literally the same
13
thing.
again.
Nice.
14.
14.
I'm
Drazda
below
passes, and the crew, not so good.
deck.
sake.
So we're going to take some
I'm
damage.
really Irish then.
For fuck's sake.
The crew just get bombarded with more pelts. The guards are having to, at this point, like, stay under cover. The fire stops as they're just trying to sort of hold themselves where they are. But Drazda, with her barricade, and you guys don't appear to have taken any problems at all. You managed to keep yourselves nice and safe. Vincent and Odie, they're going to drop back another 100 feet as their boat really slows down now that they're not moving at all.
So that'd be here, right?
Yeah, perfect. You see Odie sort of spotting, and she takes the longbow and the arrow sort of whistles out into the wind. She's still at a long range even for Odie. You just see the arrow whistle off, but you don't know where she's aiming. And her face is one of like, she draws another shot. Actually, you should take another one because why the hell not?
Fuck it.
You can do it as a ranger. It's a second shot, and again, these arrows just get caught by the wind at the longer range, and the moving targets as well. Now that she's got that side profile, it's a very difficult shot.
Just getting her eye.
Exactly. It takes a couple of shots. Drazda, 150 feet. She too is sort of going to crouch, and you can see her sort of muttering, and the flames sort of growing around her the sort of fists, and she sort of starts making patterns and chants to herself. Blue.
Yeah. So we're being shot at with arrows. They're just normal arrows, nothing flame tipped or anything?
Nothing at the moment. No.
Okay, good. I will also
At
take
the moment.
the dodge action and just chill by Drazda.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh god.
Dodge action, not exactly fine. Aubrey,
Say where I am. Wait,
nothing happens.
Yep, that's fine.
good old Aubrey.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. So Theren, 150 feet.
Okay, I know they're going to be within range this round, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, okay, so I'm going to hold my action for Eldritch Blast as soon as it gets within range.
Yeah. And then what are you targeting?
I am targeting the middle sail.
Middle sail is
no.
further back. So you can
I'm
reach
targeting the front
front
sail.
sail.
Drazda's targeting the middle sail.
Well, the middle sail is still be out of range. The ship is like 100 feet long.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to target front.
okay.
Try and just
perfect.
yeah.
Right. So as soon as the sail or the mast, was she going for?
The sail.
So perfect.
And at the same point, I just kind of want to just turn around to everyone and go, "This is it. Be ready. They won't take prisoners. Don't take any yourselves."
Very good.
No, I said I'll take dodge, so I'll take dodge.
Dodge action. Yeah, that's fine. The ships, again, are gonna. The guards at this point they're taking cover. The injured are being sort of dragged down. You can see the deckhands have already made their way below decks at this point. Grimac sort of ferrying them down. Grimac comes and sort of stands by you guys. You can see he's sort of getting his the gun ready, and at this point, a little like kid is just sort of desperately ducking because the barrel Grimac takes it and he darts back again, and you can see him running. He's still out in the open, but he's going to attempt to get back in. So Grimac has got the keg and the gun ready. So the ships are going to take, everybody above deck needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Do I get
one for Drazda?
with dodge? I get advantage.
Yeah.
Shit.
Drazda somehow passes. The crew does not.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
What did you get?
4.
4.
What did you get, Sam?
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. So Theren, as you sort of move yourself up, you can feel the eldritch energy in the air. You just get snagged by a couple of bolts there. At this range, they're still dangerous, but it's more just sort of like peppered with sort of rocks effectively as they hit your armour and things. You take 9 points of damage, and you can see the crew, any crew that's still remaining on this deck, get hit again, and the small boy drops. He gets at this point onto the deck.
How dare you laugh?
But everybody else seems fine at this point. Grimac takes a couple of hits, but he's alright.
No one was attached to the child.
I knew he wasn't going to survive.
Like, you had Drazda, I had a small boy.
I'll have a look at
And
the small
Theren has
boy.
a sword.
Yeah.
It may
Aubrey's
still be
downstairs.
bleeding.
She doesn't.
No,
The
I
small
don't know.
boy's dead.
And the boat,
Oh, no, that small boy.
50, So it's now within 100 feet, and at this point, now actually for you, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please? So you've got the Eldritch Energy, you're preparing the spell, and you get hit by the bolts. So you do technically have to make a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Unfortunately, just the impact, that initial blast of Eldritch Energy, you lose the spark of it, and it just, before you can reach it, you're just like, shit, you have to bring the guard back up. Drazda, however, steps up, and the three flames, that almost like a bolt, leaps into the air and splits, targeting the sails of that front mast. So,
with
inspiration. Go for the middle.
She can only reach the front.
Yeah, she's only the front. Might as well hit something.
Yeah,
she's got inspiration.
So the first one hits because the cloth is in like that, isn't it? See, yep. Second one hits. Third one hits. So she hits all three.
Doesn't even need inspiration.
Doesn't even need it. No.
Drazda MVP.
She can't use it for damage rolls, can she?
No,
just attack rolls.
7 points of fire. Oh, that's a nice one. 17 points of fire. 24 points of fire damage. The flames leap into this front sail.
So metal.
So it is a large, fragile. No, these sail portions are just getting absolutely decimated.
Yes.
Flames just start licking up the whole of this front mast. You can see the entirety of that front sail pattern. One of the flames, it hits the central bottom part of the sail. The second one hits the top. The third one off to the left and the middle. And the flames start catching. You can see almost within seconds that immediate burst of heat causes the front sail to push back and just buckle as it rips open, embers flying everywhere as the front mast, the sails on the front of the ship, look like they've caught. That's Drazga, so that was her held action. Vincent and Odie, again, going to drop back another 100 feet.
Oh, come on, guys.
As you can see, Odie now, so Vincent picking the sail up again. As the ship sort of starts to get some speed. What's the range between Odie and...
About 125.
125. I think that's within longer range, isn't it?
Yes.
I think
so
she is looking at something towards the back of the ship and again takes a shot at it. Natural one. No, she doesn't get anywhere near it. She takes a shot at it. Just a random person. Natural one. 2 natural ones. Jesus Christ.
No.
You see her just like swearing under her breath to taking these shots, but she can't gauge the wind and the movement. It's too much for her. Goes down to Drazda. Drazda again, this time pulls herself up, sort of looks. She can see the flames of the mast. This time, the actual mast itself, the bottom, she sees her clap her hands together, and this sort of dark energy sort of ripples out, and she sends 3 darts of force towards the mast itself, to the bottom of the mast. As they smack, impacts on the wood. You see it splintering under the impacts. It's an auto hit. It's only 9 points of damage, but it
better than nothing.
Helps. As again, now the mast is taking significant damage at the front of it. You can see the whole thing shake under the impact. The flames licking up the front of this mast. She feels very chuffed with herself. Blue.
If she's not speaking properly by the end of
I've come over my stutter. Oh, brilliant.
I am Drazda, destroyer of worlds.
God, we've created the big bad evil guy.
Yes.
So, in the next turn, will it be within 60 foot?
You don't know.
Because the ship's... Yeah.
What are you doing, Sam?
Well, I was going to use pyrotechnics to explode any schmolders that are on the thing.
It's definitely on fire.
But it's not within range, unfortunately.
Not at the moment.
So
that'd be so cool, though.
I'm going to take the dodge action.
Dodge action. Okay, Blue, you hunker down again. Aubrey?
Oh, no, I run to look at the boy.
You run to look at the boy. The boy is down on the floor. You can see a crossbow bolt has hit his leg and his side. He's down on the floor.
Bleeding?
Oh, yeah.
Dead? Completely dead?
You don't know.
Q wins.
Q wins? What level?
First.
Roll for damage?
Damage?
Or healing? Anti-damage?
That is 12.
12? Okay. This sort of force of the blue just gets to work on this small child.
Philip,
sorry. And the child stirs and immediately looks up at you and just starts to like pull himself. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Underboard. Below deck.
And then run back up.
Yeah. Aubrey.
Staying where I am.
Staying where you are. Okay, Theren. The ship's now within 100 feet of you. The last Eldritch energy still rippling in your hand. You're pissed.
I'm following Jaz's lead. I'm going to aim at the mast where she's already weakened it. Try and topple it.
Come on.
Perfect. Go for it.
Come on.
That is a 12.
12. The Eldritch Energy launches out. It hits the mast, but there's like a sort of, as the impact of it just glances at the side, you can see several of the creatures just have to brace themselves against this impact, but you don't think it was a direct impact enough to hit. It's a tough beam, this. Not quite, unfortunately.
Cool.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, the ship is now you guys are getting closer. The bolts are just sort of hammering you. So everybody with dexterity saving throw, please, above board. Drazda fails this time.
No, Drazda.
Crewmac and the crew, they do pass.
I got a 7.
Actually, Drazda's going to use her inspiration and passes.
Yay!
There you go. Improved to 12 to a 17.
Nice.
That's pretty good. So
7.
19.
19.
I'm not on
No,
board.
it's just you two then. Just you two.
I forgot you're still under.
Below deck.
7.
I've got my
You
plan.
both take 14 points of piercing damage as
Both?
yeah, each.
No.
As the
Dresden.
Oh, no, only you, because
Just
Dresden
me.
passed, so just
14.
you. 14. As again, you've just been peppered by these bolts. It's
Your face,
painful.
Sam, when you thought it was you. That was amazing.
I don't have 14 to
The
lose.
ship, it moves another 50 feet forward, but you can see its momentum is sort of beginning to slow a little bit. The oars are sort of cutting in now as it sort of is 50 feet and is beginning to pull alongside. It is now... Actually, Grumac this time, he's got an opportunity to hit. What's his distance? He's going to try and take a shot at whatever this creature on the back. He's sort of
Is he not hitting the gunpowder barrel?
He hasn't thrown it yet.
No.
The fuck hasn't he thrown it yet? It's there!
Well, come on, he'll throw the barrel, he'll chuck it into the water, and he will wait to see if he can take the shot.
So what are you doing?
Okay, so it just sort of bobs in the water as it goes along. Okie dokie, so it is now Vincent and Odie's go. So the boat, it will
Wait,
drop
you
back
got
another 50 feet.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
It will drop back another 50 feet, but
Come on.
it now is picking up speed as the sail has been deployed and Vincent's now sort of holding it alongside
Are they
the
going to
boat.
move a little closer in? Or
A little
are they
closer?
just-
Yeah, well, she's already in range,
Oh.
so it's not too bad. You can see some of the bolts are now firing towards their boat instead, but
Oh no.
Odie's going to take a shot.
the
She
whole-
can't hit anything, she's taking a random shot. This one hits, so you can see she actually this time skewers one of the goblin creatures towards the back of the boat. But as the boat's now getting closer, you see what she's aiming at, towards the back of the boat. And I just want to get a good description.
Oh no.
Descriptions are everything.
I've got the book out. Fuck.
It's only good. It's only good.
That laugh.
I'm below deck.
So, about 6.5 feet tall, a very squat, broad face, a thick nose, red skin, black hair that's been tied back into a sort of very neat ponytail and sort of almost like a warrior bun on top. You can see plate armor all over him. It's standing about 6.5 feet tall, is a strong goblin figure, but much taller than the others. You can see him barking orders on the wheel as he sort of is handing over to somebody else to take the wheel. And you can see him pulling from his side what appears to be a very long rifle, and sort of is cocking it.
No.
And he sort of is moving towards the side of the ship, and you can see him looking over towards where Odie and Vincent is. You can all make nature checks. Actually, not all breakers.
Nope.
You can't see it.
Can't see it.
Take it.
Oh my
one.
god!
Nature
Nature.
versus nurture. That's 14.
14. You suspect it might be a hobgoblin. Stronger,
hobgoblin.
more intelligent, more martial creatures. Whoever this is may have an element of authority on the ship that you're not sure. Authority.
Respect my authority. Good.
So, as he will sort of is looking up to make sort of moving. Drasta, now that the middle sail is in range, she again, the familiar flames as another bolt leaps towards. This time, first one misses, second one misses, third one misses. Now all three flames just, and they got caught in the first mast again, or shoot off to the side. They don't really catch the second mast like the first one did. Unfortunately, she is the second shot was not as good. She sort of looks back up at the thing. No more fire.
Fuck. Fuckity fuck.
As you see her sort of hunker down again onto the deck of the ship. It is now Blue's go.
Let me just think of something funny. No.
So 50 feet in front of the ship, the middle of the ship's now 100 feet away, and the back where this hobgoblin is 150 feet.
How far away is the barrel of gunpowder?
Barrel is sort of drifting and is now getting close to the side of the ship. You think that you'd have to wait a couple of seconds for it to sort of drift really close, but it's getting there.
I'm going to hold my action when it gets close, and I'm going to shout to Grumac at the same time. I'm going to cast Levitate when it's about near centre of the ship to really take out that central mast when he shoots it.
Okay, fine. So actually, you can probably cast it now to give it time to pick up.
Okay.
So yeah, you cast the
20
Levitate.
feet up.
Yeah, and it's so almost like sort of deck level.
And I'm going to, yeah.
And if it's deck level, it won't be as effective as it can be. If you
It
get
can
it,
take out people though.
true, but if you get it
What are you
close
doing,
to the
Blake?
middle,
It's your choice, Blake.
Yeah.
I was going to wait until it gets to the middle, so when it explodes, it might take out the wood of the mast.
yeah, and it would also cripple the side of the ship.
Perfect.
So,
Take it out.
and I'm gonna. So that's my action.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any check because it's an object. It's not personal.
Right, you just
And-
lift up.
And I'll look to Grumac, and I can't think of anything. Grumac! He's the guy who's gonna shoot the barrel and kill all the people!
You see him sort of humming along to it as he sort of gets his
I
aim.
won't be the one to kill
That is me. Aubrey, you can hear the splashing of this ship approaching, but nothing in range.
Can I send someone up? I assume there are people near me, like people who...
The deck hands are hiding below deck, yeah.
Okay. Can I send someone up to say, like, if things get bad, if we can try and turn the ship at all? Because I can't see anything.
Make a persuasion check.
Aww.
They do not want to go. They look injured. They look bad.
My persuasion is +6 currently, so maybe. Ooh, no, that's a 12.
Fuck, they do not want to go up.
Fuck.
No,
Okay.
they are injured. They are nursing wounds.
Fine.
they're
I
taking a
stay
hammering.
where I am. I stay where I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm useless at this range. So.
Back to top down.
Okay, is the middle mast in range?
It's in range, 100 feet away.
Gonna hit it.
Eldritch Blast. Do
Yeah.
it.
That would be a 20.
Hits. Yeah, roll for damage. That's force damage.
4.
4 force damage. The impact thwacks against the side of the mast. You hear it sort of crunch as the end of the blast against it. It visually doesn't appear to have done much damage, but it's a good impact. These things are strong. These are thick. It's like trying to hammer a tree away with Eldritch Blast. It's going to take a lot, but it's
I've
worth
curiosity,
trying.
how is the first mast looking now?
First mast looks like it's taken some damage, and actually now that the mast is flaming, it's going to take a little bit more fire damage. You can see it's starting to burn and crack under its own weight, but it's sort of starting to fall, but it's still okay. You can see the creatures, however, are now swarming round it and are trying desperately to put it out. So they're going to make a check to see if they can put the flames out. Which they start to. The damage to the first mark looks bad, but they are climbing up and padding and throwing water and mucus and all kinds of horrible substances to put this fire out. And the flames are beginning to die down on the first mast, but damage is still there. So now the ship's goes. And again, everybody on the top deck is going to take a dexterity check. So just passes somehow. Grumac
Damn.
passes. Theren?
11.
11, unfortunately not.
What natural
1. It's just the quantity of the arrows. Even your armor just can't dodge out the way of them effectively. So you're going to take some more piercing damage.
Some of them are busy with the mast, right?
Doesn't sound like it.
There's a lot of creatures on this ship, unfortunately, and as you're getting closer, it's an easier shot from 17 points of damage as you take more and more of these hits. And Blue, I'd like to make a concentration check, please. To see if you'll levitate holds.
No!
As Grumac goes to take the shot.
Ooh, not bad.
Is it above 10?
Yes.
It's above a 10. You just about hold the spell.
I'm unconscious.
You're unconscious.
For the
Theren,
first time
My
ever.
God!
taking the hits, falls unconscious. Shit. Okay. That's good to know. Fair enough. You fall down. The arrows just sort of, one catches you in the neck, one catches you in the thing. You're just taking them because you're leaving yourself exposed to cast these Eldritch blasts, and you just take the damage, unfortunately. So it is now down to. Okay, it is the ship will only advance 25 feet. Its pace is slowed slightly with the damage to the mast. It is now Grumac.
Yeah.
Come on. And he's got inspiration. He's got inspiration.
So I have to remember his stats. Grumac was. He's a level
Plus
5,
10.
so
Plus 10 to everything.
13. Now this is a small object. It's going to use his inspiration.
Yes, come on.
Yeah.
It's a 6 on the inspiration.
Oh my God!
Crack of the leather of his gun as he fires it. You can see the flintlock explosion as this little pellet comes out, thwacks into the gunpowder, and there's a moment where the levitate spell just it starts to just spin in the air as this gunpowder just strikes out everywhere. Huge explosion. So the crew are going to attempt to take a dexterity check, but with disadvantage because there's so goddamn many of them. Nope, they fail. Roll 2d10 for me, please.
So you already it.
Oh, you do it. You do
One
that.
each. One each.
That's a dangerous trap.
All together,
Effectively.
both of you.
One each.
It's your
Just
spell.
get down with it.
Oh, that's 17.
17.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Force damage as this explosion just rocks the ship. Bang! You see the crew just tens of these creatures just buckle to the floor in the impact. They start getting up and some of them are hobbling and bleeding. But more importantly, there's a crack as the first mast, which took a little bit of this damage. It was enough to just push it as it cracks and starts under the weight of the ship, just falling backwards towards the other mast. So we'll see if it hits the other mast. It does.
Dominoes.
As the second one, it doesn't do much damage. It's basically the first mast lands into the second one. There's a crunch and a crack as the whole boat rocks as the second mast just buckled under the weight. Still intact, but is dangerously swaying now. The hobgoblin angrily shouting orders. You can see devices are being brought to the front of this ship, that big sort of barrels of substance. But the ship's not looking good at this point.
I nod at Grumac.
Vincent
Real dream team.
is going to, no, it's Odie, sorry, is going to take another shot at the captain, because that's all she can really do. No, unfortunately this time the arrow flings in and it catches him on the plate of his armour and just sort of sparks out. Again, he looks, picking up his gun, as he sort of is eyeing up Odie and pulls himself towards. And this time he starts aiming it, and you can see he aims it at Grumac, the person who fired the...
Can't she fire again?
At the crew. Yeah, she does some more damage to the crew. It all helps.
Yes.
It all helps.
Doesn't she have that thing where if she kills one, she gets...
It's going to be tricky
yeah.
and big, lots of combat.
But the problem is the quantities of the things on the ship, it's difficult to dent them, but it all helps.
There's like rat kebabs everywhere.
Exactly. However, he is going to, with a huge crack as he fires his gun towards Grumac, it hits him. You see Grumac, there's a crack, and then there's like a momentary pause between as he literally gets hit back with the impact as it hits his chest. It's going to be a painful one, this one. As he gets hit by a flintlock rifle. That is 6. That is 14, 20 to 24 points of damage. You see him just rock back under the impact of this blast as he sort of staggers back, blood pouring down his shirt. He sort of picks himself back up, so drops to his knees, sort of like reloading his gun, just like, that hurt. As he comes back to it. It is now Drazda's go. Drazda standing up, will again cast another magic missile. You can see these darts of energy, this time thumping into the middle mast to see if she can tip it over.
Yes.
Actually, you guys roll this for me. Each roll a d4. Let's see what happens.
4.
3.
2.
3.
Is it more than
8
10?
in total.
8 plus whatever.
3.
So 11.
11. 8. Yeah, second mast goes. There's a huge crack as the second mast this time falls into the last one. The last one hasn't taken any damage yet. We'll see if it falls into it properly. It doesn't. No, this one, instead, the domino effect of these masts is rocked off by the swaying of the ship, and you can see they fall either side. You're pulling down some of the ropes and the masts, but it impacts and just the ship just shudders. Blue, it's your go now.
Cure wounds, Philip, on Theren.
Yep. Okay.
So you second level.
You'll see as an important character.
I mean, yeah.
PC.
I recovered the useless
It's a rubbish
little
PC.
boy. It's 9 plus 5, 14.
14.
Hey.
Well, that's decent healing.
Thanks, man.
Again, there's that moment where the pain, the darkness as you fall into the ground is interrupted momentarily by the disgusting feeling of a tongue across your face, probably getting in your eye as Philip is just dragged. But again, that sort of like Philip is on your face, but the healing is sort of in your torso, and you can feel the bolts being pushed out of you as you sort of get yourself back together. But that hurt.
Cool.
And then bonus action to inspire Theren. Actually, yeah. I'll say, can I have my inspiration die back?
Oh, you can. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
And you've got to imagine all the time the hurdy-gurdy's still playing all the way through this battle. Between the barrage of spells, that's important to say. Like a lot of what Blue does is all performance. So you find yourself weirdly fighting to this sort of rhythm as the impact is going either way.
It's the immigrant song over and over.
Just imagining waking up from being out cold, someone going, oh God.
Okay.
Again. Oh, no, it's fine. Continue. It only can do 4 gigabytes.
Whatever.
You would have thought, eh? Now it goes back to Aubrey.
It's recording. We are recording.
You're leaning out the window. You see the front of the ship sort of is beginning to get into view, but it's almost stopping, and it starts to slowly drift back.
I'm gonna get one of the other people in here to take control of the cannon.
Yeah.
I eventually
rush back up to the deck. Okay.
But I think also with the crack of that rifle,
Yeah.
I think I would have gone, oh shit, that sounds really bad. I suppose I should go.
Could be thunder.
It isn't thunder. I know what thunder is. So I presume my movement, I only get to like the top of the deck. I don't get like right up to these guys.
You get out to you get it to the front door, effectively. So you're on the back of the deck, but you can see what's happening now.
Okay.
You see the ship behind taking this damage. The front sail's flaming, is toppled over. The second sail has already been brought over. The creatures on the deck scattered, but bolts are still flying down, but in a much smaller quantity than you originally remember. Theren, on the floor, gasping for breath. What would you like to do?
Face covered in
1
mucus.
Could I take the dodge action as well?
You probably would have had to dash.
That's fine. Fine.
But you're kind of in the doorway. You're not so like.
I'm not like.
the way. Yeah. You would have advantage anyway on your.
Have you got your figurine?
What? That is my figurine.
Oh, I thought that was Grumac.
No, Greenback's not.
Did you forget your spell cards?
Yeah, I was debating a thing, but
Yeah. Do you want to check it through me?
The thing is just I was considering whether or not I want to go for the mast, or do I want to command the hobgoblin to stop firing?
Halt.
Yeah. What would you like to do? What's the range on
What's the
command?
range on command?
As long as it can hear me.
Okay, you can give it a go, yeah.
What is it, 100 feet away?
The
25, 100.
75, it's about 125 away, yeah.
125,
Yeah,
You, from the range that Odie heard you would imagine it probably could hear you from that distance.
You've got the lungs. Stage shouting, stage shouting.
it's a wisdom saving throw. What do you reckon?
It's a hobgoblin.
What would you do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Don't worry about us.
Okay.
I have the saving throw ready. Let me know what you want me to do.
Okay, yeah, so Theren is gonna get up to his feet,
Yep.
spit out some blood onto the floor, point at the hobgoblin, and scream, "Grovel!"
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
That is a 14.
Does that have to beat my
What is your DC?
13?
13.
Nice
There's a
try.
moment when you
Nice
see
try.
him just sort of reflex as he's reloading his weapon, and he snarls and stares back at you, and you see him loading another round into the rifle.
Hold on.
I take the other direction.
Redcon.
I actually hit action. It means I get to retroactively hit.
No, sadly it doesn't have one of those. Okay then, and as my bonus action, I'm a chug a potion.
Do it.
I'm a chug a potion.
2d4 plus 2. Make sure you knock it off your character list.
Yes, so I only have 3 potions left.
Only.
Okay, so I get... Okay, right, yeah. So I've got 5 extra
5.
points.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a bad roll.
Yeah, it's alright.
Okay, so you do that. It is now the ship's go. The ship. You see the hobgoblin sort of he grits his teeth as the ship is now beginning to lose. He sort of grits his teeth, shouts some orders, and grabs the wheel and just spins it to the right. And you can see the whole ship lurch and start to sail away.
Whoa.
It drops back 25 feet and starts to move backwards as it starts sailing away. That's quite a way. 25 feet is only like 1 square.
Okay.
So it's there we go.
All over the place.
And at a command, the crossbow bolts stop. They stop firing towards you as the crew immediately try fixing some of the damage that's done to the ship. They're not going to get very far. That's some pretty substantial structural damage you've unleashed on it. But Odie is still going to...
Yeah, come on, Odie.
She's sort of
Come on.
sailing with you guys. She can't hit it. He's got high AC.
Useless.
No, she takes another shot, and again, another one of the crew members just hits off the board over the edge of the ship and disappears off. It would now be Drazda's go. She, again, this time, firebolt, just flings a firebolt towards the middle sail that's collapsed, see if she can light it. She does hit.
Yeah.
She does. It's a D10 or D8 firebolt?
No idea.
I'm going to roll a D10. No, D8. I think it's D8. Yeah, does some damage. Again, the flames lick above the canvas as they immediately start trying to put out
1d10.
1d10. There you go.
Nice.
Actually rolls 1 less.
Oh.
The flames lick out, but they're starting to immediately put out the flames. It is now Blue's go.
Cure wounds on Grumac.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm going to run
Do
down Cure wounds first level. He gets 10 HP.
10 HP.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah, he sort of gratefully, like, he sort of helping back to his, he sort of bats it away and sort of uses you to pull himself to his feet as he's reloading his pistol. You see him go, take another shot at the captain, but it's a disadvantage this time because he's
Imagine
now
him
too far
shooting
away.
right next to my ear.
There's a crack, as the bolt doesn't go anywhere near him, unfortunately. At this distance, Aubrey, you're now at the deck. You can see the ship starting to bank away.
Yeah, I just run up to sort of these guys and sort of say, "What's been happening? I thought we had a plan. You don't look very well."
The plan went much better than expected.
Oh, good. Great.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Theren, back to you.
Is it still within range?
Yeah, in front of it is, yeah.
Fucking Eldritch Blast, anything I can see.
Yeah, go for it.
At this point, I imagine Aubrey's asking and I'm just screaming.
Yeah,
and
no,
swinging.
you see Theren and the sword like lit in his hand.
I only asked.
More bolts just flinging off the side of the ship, cracking into whatever they can.
17.
17, yeah, you hit, so roll for damage. The masts are gone at this point, you're just hitting the crew.
Are they dead in the water?
No, they've still got
They're
water
pretty dead in the water. The even
Could I
oars
not-
are being like brought in now.
Could I not reach a mast?
No, not this
Oh,
one.
okay,
The back
so-
mast,
Just kill
the boat's
people,
like
kill
coming
people,
out.
it's
fine.
right
7
now.
damage.
7 damage. Yeah, and again, some of the crew just taking damage and being hit off the side.
Should take them down completely.
Okay, at this point, the boat just starts drifting away and sailing away as the Athena keeps speed and makes its way off, increasing the distance. Grumac, so looking over the side, I believe the day is ours. Quick, full speed. We need to get back to Yibrit.
I'm firing Eldritch Blasts until
I
I'm
imagine
out of range.
Theren is just until it's like even beyond range. Just
I'll try and stop him,
yeah.
and I say, we're only supposed to kill the mask, not the other people.
They were the things that attacked us earlier.
You seem to flip-flop between two things. Killing people, not killing people.
There's a difference in killing people and saving people's lives.
We've
And
won.
those are not people.
We've won. Stop.
I sheath Backlaw and wander off looking for some sort of medical attention.
Which I'm sure you find,
Or
yeah.
grumbling to myself that I
Yeah.
need my bed.
The battle is over. The carnage begins to be wrapped up. You can see the crew. Start sort of patching each other's wounds. All the bolts start to be sort of taken out. Drazda goes around healing as much of the ship damage as she can. Blue and Theren, actually, you two are the ones that can administer the healing out of everybody on the ship. So you can kind of use your spells as you want or not as you want. It's up to you, really.
Okay.
Do you?
I want to go up to Grumac then.
Yeah. Grumac looks alright, actually. He took a big hit, but Blue's initial healing. You
Yeah.
can still see the wound, but it's better. And he'll be like, it's okay. I'm not too bad.
I'm more thinking for your crew. Now I can heal, but I can't heal and then do a night on shift work. I'm going to need to sleep.
He sort of nods. I'm hoping whatever the second vessel is, it didn't have the same speed as this one. It
Which
looked,
do you want me doing,
it
Captain?
looked
It's
dead
your
in the
ship.
water, didn't it? I don't think we're going to be troubled. He sort of thinks to himself for a second. At the pace we're going, I really, really hope we'll be near Yibrit within 2 days. Once we get close enough, even those creatures, they won't dare coming too near the rock. Things would just attack it back. We like to keep each other safe to a degree. I wouldn't be surprised if we see other vessels in the area soon. Use what you can. A rest tonight would be warranted for all the crew. Those who avoided the fight, I'll put them on the night shift. I'll get you guys on the day shift, and we'll work from there.
Didn't avoid the fight. I was ready for the fight. No,
Sort of,
I don't say anything.
You did the complete opposite, as in the first episode we did.
that's learning. That is learning. If anything can be said about Aubrey, she did not charge in. And how many points of damage did you take?
Practically none.
Practically none or none?
None.
Does he have any wounds on him that I can still see?
You can still see the wound from the initial hit, but again, it's healed over. You can see that initial healing is from where Blue is cast the spell.
So he looks
He
fine.
looks alright, and if you go to heal him, he'll like, you look far worse than I do.
I'm fine. I'll get some sleep later. Take me to the next
Theren,
person in the crew who needs it.
I can see the wound in your neck, and he's sort of like, honestly,
Captain.
your reserves are best used in yourself. Think about it logically.
I run up, hear them talking.
I'm just like just sweeps into this conversation.
image
Philip intrudes.
that image
I
of-
love that.
6.
You almost bat him away. Like the feeling doesn't quite like instinctually. You just
Oh no, that's how much healing he gets.
Yeah. Like, there's him, like, because he's
I love the idea that it's like that meme of like Henry Cavill on the red carpet, and you see the guy that plays Aquaman creeping up behind him and just smacking him with a.
Did Drasta get hit?
Drasta did get hit once. She's a wizard. She took half damage, but half health, but she's alright.
She's alright.
Drasta, you're good. You look good. I mean, remove Buck. Now you don't look weird.
She said, listen. How?
Magic.
Sort of eyes like very wide. Can you teach?
That one might be tricky. It comes from this. And I show the hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah. She listens to aptly. Yeah. Is there anything else people would like to do?
If there's a spare moment, I wanted to try and talk to Blue alone.
Busy.
In that time, I'll just go and heal the crew with what slots and lay on hands I have going.
How much have you got?
I have...
Roll for it, just in
team
case.
players. It's so good.
I have 15
well.
slots of healing left for lay on hands, so I can heal 15 hit points.
Oh, very good.
And I have 2 level 1... No. I have 3 more cure wounds.
Oh, okay. How many are you
He was
using?
completely fine.
How many do they need?
The crew look injured. They've taken about 30 points of damage.
Okay, 30.
Yeah.
Okay, right. All lay on hands.
Yeah. You make your way methodically around the crew. You pull out bolts and sort of heal the wounds. You
The worst doctor.
you hit the worst to start with, and but medicine's very different if you can just zap it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you hit the worst, and then you sort of go from there.
I just want to check what cure wounds is.
It's 1d8 plus your charisma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you.
So I have to do 15.
Well, no, technically it's a paladin. No, it is all charisma for
Yes,
you. Yeah.
charisma,
No, paladin's charisma.
Okay, so 7.
Because believing in God makes you fun to be
13.
around.
Yeah, they're all.
This game is random.
I use all my slots. They're all healed.
Right, you actually healed the entire crew.
Yay!
Yeah, you do a very good job.
And then I just sort of stagger towards the nearest bed.
Yeah, and collapse. It's like 11 in the morning, and Theren is just like, I've had enough. And to be honest, you are left to your sleep.
Good.
The two of you, what would you like to do?
Blue.
Yo!
A moment of your time. What do you make of Theren and his use of magic?
He's a bit of a slut when it comes to magic, but he seems okay. I mean, he got some magic from his god Perith, and then at the same time he's double dealing with that bear dude.
What bear dude?
You know the one with the fae we talked
You
to?
didn't tell me anything about a bear dude. You said you made a deal. Yes.
We just... He was this nice guy.
No.
Yeah, this is bear dude, he was a nice guy.
Right.
And he was just like, hey, you guys seem cool. Oh, your friend's dead. Oh no, don't worry, I'll look after her. And, oh, have the sword, Theren, it'd be awesome.
This thing gave Theren the sword.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was really... Santa does Santa exist?
Santa does not exist.
He was just like this really nice guy who was
In
big
this
and
universe
chubby.
called D&D Santa.
D&D Santa.
He was like a D&D Santa.
No, there's no
I don't
Santa.
know what that means.
There's no Santa. There are festivals, but not Christmas.
He was cool. And he had loads of bears. And bears are fun, apart from that one we met. Yeah. So, yeah, I think... Yeah.
Are you not worried at all?
I mean...
You saw how he couldn't stop, even then when they were on the retreat, and it happened again with the lizard folk. Even when I was still alive and I had the ogres, that whole command thing. Does that not worry you?
I mean, I grew up fairly sheltered, so I don't really know what's right or...
I say this as someone
Okay.
who's not used to magic, and in fact has been on the bad end of magic. You are an arcane user.
Yeah.
Maybe just keep an eye on him.
You think
He won't listen to me.
you think he's going bad?
I don't think he's going bad, but the temptation is there.
Okay. I think ultimately, of all the people in this group, I have to look at so many of you. I mean, Dresden's the first person I've met in a long while who seems
There's
vague.
3 of us.
Yeah,
Not including you.
yeah, I'm fine. But I have to look after you, both of you.
You don't have to look after me.
When we were on the beach, you were talking about you've been on medication your whole life, and now you're not on medication, and your heart is beating, and you're crazy, and that's scary. You're doing that. Theren's kind of magic bear king deal.
But which is worse, though? Which is worse?
Which is worse? Which is
breaking it.
worse?
Someone who's screaming or someone who isn't?
Someone who isn't screaming but says they're screaming on the inside?
No, I never scream on the inside anymore.
Oh, great. That's not worrying at all.
You are his best mate, I would assume.
Well,
you've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just take a bit more care of him.
I'll keep an eye on him, but...
Yeah.
I've known him 5 days.
You've known him slightly longer than that, but yes, I know.
I'm not. I've got an intelligence of 6. I can't count very high. 7 days.
No, you've got an intelligence of 7.
His voice is in my head.
You knew me less than that.
I've known him 15 days.
I'm rounding down.
But you knew me less
Your
than
2-week nursery. Oh.
Look, you're both quite
But
shifty.
you knew me less than that, though,
I do.
and you still came to save me.
Seemed like fun. And you were nice. And you... Yeah.
I threw your cheese overboard.
Yeah, but you were thinking of me. And...
So I should do that with all food, then, with you?
I mean, that's a bit of a leap in logic, but... no, please don't do that.
I won't do that.
Okay, good. We need a
Just
lot...
cheese, okay.
I mean... Maybe just persuade me not to eat cheese.
I mean, it is very fattening for you.
It's... Okay, I mean...
I'm kidding. I won't throw any more of your food overboard.
It's just... I'm thinking more of the other people on this ship who probably need food in order for us all to get to Yibrit on live, but okay. So, what should we take from this meeting? I need to...
No action points.
Yeah, because...
This is so corporate.
I struggle to keep focus.
Let's do some point ups here. Let's look at some blue sky thinking here.
Okay, Theren.
Blue sky.
Theren.
Push the envelope, yeah.
Theren.
Yes.
Using slutty magic approaches.
I mean, you coined that term, not me, but yes.
Yep, and he's kind of going a bit overzealous with his stuff, which maybe is religious background or maybe magic. Keep an eye on
That's
him.
a good point.
And then you...
Yes.
Telling me you've been on medication your whole life.
Let's not talk
and
about me.
Just gone cold turkey.
This meeting
and
between
your
2
heart
people in the
is
middle of the ship is about
beating
who's not
really
here.
loudly, and you're stealing stuff from the ship, which is potentially going to kill many people,
now
either us or
words
other
in my
people.
mouth.
It is very dangerous. I've got to keep an eye on both of you. I'm just a gnome trying to make his way to Yibrit and look at some stuff. Suddenly, I have to deal with all this.
Hang on.
Blue gets a nose, please.
Right, there's so much to unpack.
I walk away.
Oh, yes.
I just go, no. Fine. I open and walk up in the other direction.
So, over the course of the day, Odie and Vincent, they bring the ship closer to the Athena. They chat with Gromac. They seem alright. They didn't take any damage, so they'll continue to sail alongside, and they kind of make their way. And actually, after a little bit, they sort of agree something to him, and you can see them sort of pull the sails, and they start just to sort of slowly advance and speed ahead of the Athena. And sort of over the course of a few hours start to disappear towards the horizon.
I sleep through all of this.
You sleep through absolutely all of this. You are out like a light. It is crazy. Aubrey, you are very much enlisted into the cleanup help and the crew.
Great idea.
100% grass you up. You feel absolutely just betrayed by the whole situation. You stuck to your plan.
I stuck to my plan.
And you did it perfectly.
I did.
And the
No one
crew
else
do not see it like that at all.
Monsters.
You hear little whispers of like, oh, the cat and her fire, and Theren healed us all, and Blue's music was awesome.
Do I hear
Sort
these?
of looks towards you.
I would not have helped. Would I have healed? No. I say this out loud. You overhear this. I just shout out loud. That's what I'm doing.
They back away.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
Do I hear these words of dissent?
It depends what you probably would be going. You'd be sort of shooed to bed pretty quickly because you are knackered unless you say anything else.
I love it. I love
the
it.
two of you eventually make your way. Theren is already completely knocked out in his cot.
I imagine armor's got halfway through to being taken off.
Yeah, enough so that you could sleep. Maybe your sort of the leather
Got one
underneath
leg.
is still on.
Yeah.
The chainmail is off.
Just taken off the hauberk, thrown it to the side.
One leg on.
Yeah, exactly.
I throw a rug over him and then get to bed.
I kind of snuggle into it.
Is it a rug from the floor?
Yes. No. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah. So, the two of you sleep. Aubrey, for the rest of the day, you are enlisted in clean-up operation. You get some of the first bits of the night watch as well. It's just
Fine.
dig down there. Yeah.
It's not fine,
The
but it's fine.
crew do seem grateful, and they are grateful for your strength and ability to
all I can
do
do.
a lot of the heavy work. Where the crew that's surviving, they're not necessarily the best of sailors, but they're
Not
doing
Me
all right.
neither.
I'll just
Yeah.
have a short rest and then I'll be out back to help.
Yeah, they honestly, Grumac will come and physically
Put
say,
me down.
sleep. We need you to sleep.
I'm okay.
No, Blue.
It's 11 in the morning.
Half 11 now.
In the
We'll need you on
background,
night
you've just
watch.
got.
Okay.
And unless so basically this is my time. The Athena. Let's check something.
Uh-oh. 6.
Is fine. Is absolutely
Absolutely fine.
Nothing ever wrong happens to the Athena
I
again.
checked for random encounters.
Oh my god.
No more. There are no random encounters across the 2.5 days. Because that's good, because there were some interesting ones
Oh,
there.
no, you
But
heard earlier.
the
Fuck.
Athena,
Fucking
unless you
Kraken.
want
I know.
to do anything over the course of the next 2.5 days, the Athena travels. You have time to long rest. You have time to get your hit dice back, your spells back.
I would
Yeah.
like to do one thing
Yeah, of course
when
you
I
can.
wake up.
Yeah. Of course you can.
I want to go up to the crow's nest,
Yeah.
assuming no one is up there.
Yeah, you can get some time. There's only one.
Aubrey,
Like,
damn it.
so they will put you up there. We'll put someone up there. So if you volunteer, you will be very much let up there.
My silken spot.
And I want to try and commune with Perith.
Okay. Right, we'll come back to that in a second. You guys, you want to do anything?
I'm just checking on where I've stashed the scroll every so often.
Every so often?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, make a stealth check for me.
I'm going to use this box because I know
The
it's going
box
to...
of glory.
Okay, it's a +3. Ooh, that's a 21.
I'm glad we called it the
Okay.
box of glory.
Fine.
Yeah.
What would you like
I'll
to do?
I'll just do one thing. I'll go to Grumek.
Far be it from me to tell you what to do, Captain. But
Yes.
you've said nice things to us when we've helped. Dresda could do with a confidence boost. Just maybe, if you have time, I know you're busy, but just give her a good thank you, I think. We would have been in deep cuckoo if she hadn't stowed aboard. I mean, that was pretty lucky.
Yes, I've been thinking about that. We haven't had a fully trained wizard like that on board in a number of years. It's powerful. Your spellcasting is something else, but the raw potency of her spells is very useful to have on board. Yes, no, thank you. She seems to have she has an eye for you, Blue. She seems to be interested, especially when you were doing that spell casting earlier. She seems to be paying attention. Have you considered spending some time with her? You may be able to... I get the sense from the island that an arcane spellcaster of her nature, potentially the nurture of that island, is not the place for study. Maybe there's something you could share with her.
You're not there, bro. You're sulking up in this crow's nest.
I will spend some time with her, but my magic is more chaotic. It's kind of with feeling, and I get the feeling that she is very smart, and all her magic comes from being brainy. But yeah, I'll talk to her. We'll see what we can. Different avenues of getting into magic can help.
Yes, maybe you could learn something from her.
I'm not good at learning, but I'll try.
Pat you on the shoulder. Go speak to her.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing I'll do as well is if there's at any point, I will just be drinking as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You are not left too much rest on this ship. Grimac
Awesome.
keeps a fairly tight ship, so it would be more of a trying to hide it.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like
She's brown bagging it.
everybody is enlisted into the help and care of getting the ship to
Any
port.
moment I have to myself, I'll be drinking.
Okay,
Oh,
right.
bloody
That's
hell.
another stealth check.
Oh. Oh no.
We've got
See
another
if you get
knot.
away
We've
with
got
that.
a knot on our hands, but she's 6'3".
That's 22!
22!
Doing okay!
That luckstone really works for...
I mean, it would still be
robbery,
21.
doesn't it? I mean, that's still pretty cool. Yeah, you get through a lot of alcohol over the course of the journey, like to the point where your supply is kind of gone, maybe a day before they arrive. So you have to start pilfering from other places. You can do it. There's other alcohol on board, but
I don't have any otherwise.
Yeah, okay.
cool.
Anyway.
I give some water and trick her into thinking it's vodka.
Can't trick
Okay.
me.
Definitely vodka.
Okay,
so
Theren,
Okay.
you spend some time on the crow's nest and sort of meditating, feeling that sort of divine sense, the spellcasting you've done recently, the lay on hands, all of that practical application of your divine power. You meditate for a while. There's a feeling of being watched, of something following your presence, your path that you're forging. And your mind, as you're meditating, you wonder about, like, sort of, it flicks to things you've done, things you want to do on Yibrit, places you need to go, actions you've taken. And
My son.
thumbs off. And just checking the cameras on. And there's a feeling of content, of pride, but of like a sort of a teacher sort of approving, and every time you think about what you've done and what you plan to do, like that sort of warmth fills in you, and it feels reassuring.
What about when I... Okay, no, in character.
is it mummy or daddy?
I... Feeling this sort of divine reassurance,
Yeah.
I, while still in this sort of trance,
Yeah.
contemplate on the bargain made with the fair.
Yeah. As you do, you start to sort of tap into that more, like that closer force in the sword, that connection, that constant companionship that you feel since the sword sort of bound itself to you. And you take a second to notice that presence is gone. And there's sort of almost like a hollow feeling as you focus on the sword. That other sort of guardianship has disappeared.
Okay. Then I want to go back and actually try and speak to her again.
You make a wisdom check for me, please.
13.
13. Over the next day or two, you meditate, you attempt to find some time, and you do not get that same spark again on the trip. So, anything else?
No.
Okay. It is the third day of autumn as the sun is rising.
Oh, we made it.
Flash forward 3 days.
New month. New
You
month.
departed the Beggar's Bowl on the 26th of summer. You've gone 27th, 28th, 1st of autumn, 2nd of autumn, and the 3rd of autumn
Oh, wow.
is when the captain sort of rallies everybody to the deck and sort of beckons the three of you to one side, pulls you into the office and sort of, right, Yibrit, we will arrive within a couple of hours. We'd actually made good time. We were scheduled to arrive on the 1st of autumn and it's now the 3rd. Our meeting with the buyer is on the 4th. I ask that you all meet with me. If anything, for my own reassurance, you three of you have performed beyond my words fail me. I am so grateful to everything the three of you have done. You've protected the crew, you've protected the ship, you have been valiant in what you've done, and I am so grateful. There are two things that I ask from you, and there is one thing that I would like to give in return. Well, two things, but I imagine only one will count for something. We spoke before of the events that you saw that I ask you to keep secret as best you can. The crew, and more than my own sake, rests on the secrecy of what we have done this journey. I can only hope that the three of you keep your confidence where you can. Please know that these are dangerous people that we are dealing with, and I would not be doing this if it were not for desperation on my part, but I believe that we can get through it and we can draw a line under it and move on as best we can, but only if we all come into this together. So I ask, the first thing is for you to keep your confidence. Secondly, the evening, tomorrow night on the 4th, get a place name for you here, because I have got my book of Yibrit. Here we go. So, there is a tavern just within the initial gate.
Tavern! Do they do food? They do food? Is it good food?
It does food.
Oh.
I'm afraid the food is...
Anything's better than boat oatcakes.
Hey. Don't be rude.
Just getting the exact name for you. Yes, there is a tavern on the inside of Yibrit. Aubrey may know of it, actually. It's called the Cattle and Dragon. It's very distinct. It's practically gaudy. Meet me in the tavern just after sunset tomorrow, and we will embark on our business venture. Your companionship and quite frankly protection would mean a lot, especially with, well, quite frankly, the failure on our end of the deal. I walk into dangerous turf, and whilst you are not required to come, I would be more than grateful if you did. In return for your help, and he sort of draws, open a small drawer and sort of pulls out some coins. Our initial bargain, consider that null and void. I ask you not as a financial trade, but as a colleague through hard times. This is just a token gesture for the efforts that the three of you have to take. Consider it your wages as crew for this journey and the ones before. You have made up your weight beyond, and he hands each of you 20 platinum pieces.
Oh shit! I say that out loud.
I give back 10.
I also give back 10.
He holds his hand out.
Captain,
I take that. No,
I
I don't.
insist.
Use it on the ship.
Your ship needs it more than we do.
If you wish to help the ship, then come with me to the meeting. You have some indication of the value of the goods we are transporting. Consider it blood money, if nothing more, but you help me complete that transaction, and the Athena will be repaired and stocked. I anticipate docking straight into the dockyards and being ascended into the repair bay, and from that point we'll go from there. But that transaction, that's for me the Athena's future. This, you earned this, every penny, every copper, I should say.
Still,
He holds his hand out. I appreciate, but quite frankly, Theren, your armor looks tattered. I would thoroughly suggest that you at least use this money to, well, at least get it cleaned. I know.
Prestidigitation!
Does it make it any better?
he chuckles to himself.
Just a mending!
That money can go a long way in your hands, Theren. Make sure you put it to good use, and I'm sure the world would be a better place for it.
then it will go to better armor. Nothing else. I promise you that.
He nods.
So is he refusing my return too?
He looks at you and says, "Have you ever been to Yibrit?"
No, sorry.
I'm joking.
Chuckles.
I'm joking.
No.
I'll make you a deal, Blue. If I see you again after the transaction, before we leave, if Fiona leaves again, and you haven't spent it, then I'll take it. But I have a feeling you'll need it in Yibrit. It's quite the place for someone with money.
Sounds good. I think it's always good to carry a lot of money on your person when you're in a busy and crowded area.
I would suggest keeping it on your person, actually. If you have any money left in your sea chest, I would go and bring it to your person. Be careful of the pickpockets, but sea chests have a habit of being broken into, as I'm sure you've all found out over the course of this journey.
I don't think I've got anything left in there, but I'll have a look at it for sentimental reasons.
Yeah, well, if there's anything else that you guys need, then please. Otherwise, I'd suggest you take some time in Yibrit. Enjoy the sights.
Captain, I have a question.
You
Please.
know what Yibrit is like.
You have been to Yibrit a few times. Is that right?
You, Theren, you will not have done. No, you.
No, I'm talking to the captain.
Oh, I've been to. Yeah, the captain. Yes, the captain's been. Yes, no, I have. Sorry, I got confused between
Pronouns.
you, me, DM. Yeah, the Grimac has, yes.
Him, Theren, you, Grumac.
Me, Blue.
In the order,
Blue.
some of the higher inquisitors have these black marks that have been... It's almost like ink stained into the skin. I forget the name for it, but do you know anywhere where one might go?
Do you mean arcane?
No, it seems to be entirely mundane in nature.
That would be a tattoo, I believe.
He's so young, he doesn't know what a tattoo is.
Where would one go to acquire a tattoo?
He sort of
Let's all get the
Fingers to
same
himself.
one!
Nope.
Just a you.
Theren, have you ever heard of writing something down?
Captain, I made a vow to someone and I would see it imprinted
He sort
in
of
somewhere more permanent.
he sort of thinks to himself.
Theren forever. Little heart.
I heart Parrot.
I have Theren.
And
Yes.
brackets. Maybe Bear King.
Maybe Bear King, who knows? Faye, not bad.
If you make your way into the central areas of Yibrit, I'm afraid this particular parlours are not my thing, but there's a place called the Scriveners Guildhall. They deal in matters of books, scrolls, inks, that sort of thing. I imagine some of the calligraphers there would be highly skilled in patterns, and if they couldn't do it for you, then I'm sure they would know somebody who could.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh, Dresda. You might want to have a look at that.
To Patsy, covered in tattoos.
Traxy's not in the room. She is.
However, I trust Blue to just say that out loud.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's not here.
He sort of nods, and so we'll meet tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Fantastic.
You said he draws
Right.
the three of you to one side.
I have a ship to port. Wish me luck. It's a bit clunky at the moment, but we do our best.
Parith, guide you, Captain.
Yes, thank you. I assume you were looking after Dresda.
We actually were not sure. Well, would you want to stay on the ship, or would you want to come with us?
Oh, well, we should probably ask her that in
I
the
was
next
going to
2
say,
hours.
Have you asked her?
I mean, you said that
He sort of winces slightly. Why don't you go find him?
Okay.
Find her.
Let's go find Dresda. What's she up to? Oh, how are my 2 days with her talking about
The
magical
2
stuff?
days. She seems genuinely interested in your spellcasting. So the personal side of things, the talking, she's not very talkative. She's very shy, but she will listen to your stories all day. She's captivated. But it's the arcane matters that she's interested in.
Okay.
And actually, she's fairly well versed in the numerous of the cantrips, effectively. You've seen the mending, you've seen the mage hand, you've seen this sort of prestidigitation. Thaumaturgy. She has, but she sort of talks you through some of her spells. She's very reserved on her own background. You get over the course of the days that she almost wanted to follow where you were going, because you were the best spellcaster she had seen, and she wanted to know where you'd learned. She was under the impression that you've learnt your spells from somewhere. And you do take some time, so you can, if you want, you can sort of tell her that it's not quite
Innate.
the same, different for everybody, all this sort of stuff.
Not everyone's magical in the same way.
Can I try and teach her like a spell? Would that be possible?
What would you try to teach her?
Ooh, something.
Fireball.
Heat metal. No, because she has trouble with people.
Yeah.
I will teach her the cantrip Friends, if possible.
Okay. You spend a couple of days trying to teach her friends. Make an Arcana check.
Hang on, I'll move
Can I
everyone
give
out.
myself-
I'm moving everyone out of the
Can I give
hole.
myself inspiration for this, and then
You've got
You can,
this
yeah.
And I'll
give
take
yourself
it off.
Inspiration.
take it off my day that we're arriving at Yibrit. Oh, that's pretty
Nice.
good. So -1, 12, 17.
17. Okay. You, over the course of the day or two, she is an avid learner, and you can tell that there are pieces of the spell that she is familiar with, and you get the sense that she could learn. But it's almost like a sort of language issue. Every time she goes to try and cast it, or sort of create a replica effect, she's looking for arcane symbols, writings, sort of speech patterns, and the way she does magic is different. You get the sense
Heartbreaking.
that, and no, but she's fine.
Yeah,
It's not like a bad thing for her. She's fascinated by how you cast spells, but yours is very intuitive. You just do it, and it's difficult to explain for somebody who doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But you do get the impression she keeps asking about sort of scrolls and books and all these sort of things. That if it was written down, she probably could learn it.
I completely forgot. I've got these.
You said as we're going into reporting. Wait!
There's a collective sigh from the crowd. as they think all the things those scrolls could have done in life.
No,
What scrolls do you have? I forgot.
Enlarge and silence.
I mean, fine.
12th for Aubrey.
Oh well.
Inside
the boat.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been much use.
Chuck the cannon.
Do you want to...
A couple of hours into the morning, we can. She'll follow you around for a little bit. So
Okay.
a couple of hours into the morning, you start to approach Yibrit. The call is made from a crow's nest, and the crew get ready to sort of start taking the sails down. As into the distance, Aubrey, you see the familiar sight, but the two of you see what is essentially. It looks almost like a sort of mountain from a distance. But as you get closer, you realise that it is a rock. And sort of the closer you get, it's strange. Just Yibrit it's not a landmass per se. There's no green to it. It's just a rock. And as you get closer, a sequence of rocks, one huge mountain-esque peak that comes into the sky and several smaller rocks jagging out of the sea. You see walls that have been built around the base, about halfway up and then towards the top of this rock, almost sort of crowning it like a castle, this huge rock, maybe about 1 kilometre in size, tiny in comparison to some of the islands that you've seen. It is a small space. It's jagged. It's mostly cliff faces, it looks unhospitable, but everywhere across every exposed surface, clinging to the sides of this rock, is an entire city, essentially bolted on to the sides of this rock. Houses that have been drilled and hammered into the side, entire walkways, skyscrapers that cling to the cliffs and perilously drop over the sides of this cliff. You can see a vast harbour has been built out of wood and stone, sort of floating under the sea around it, and there's no natural land there, so it floats connected to several other rocks that jut out of the sea. You can see a huge wooden ramp about halfway up that sort of seems to drop off the side of the rock and end about 50 feet above the surface of the sea, just churning below it, with big wooden gates above it and structures. You can see cranes, huge cranes made of wood and pulleys. You can see steam sort of rising and pulsing from as it sort of engines turn in the distance as these things sort of slowly move up and down. You can see, what else could you see? Most of the buildings on the rock are small and oddly shaped and crammed in. Life is just bolted onto the side of this rock, but there are bigger buildings on the inside. You can see several large cathedrals, temples with huge glistening bronze and red domes to them. You can see another building towards the top, flames, green flames licking continuously from the top of it, like a bonfire that seems to never rest. It just haphazardly warps its way into the sky, and as the Athena pulls into the dock, you can see it's sort of space is allocated, people start wading in, just a motley of people, just every inch of space seems to be full of something. Buildings, the walkways are tiny, the people are shoved in, and you can see this wall on the base of the cliff. There's the harbour below it into the sea. It's the base of this cliff and big gates. You have arrived on Yibrit, the city on the rock, and we will end it there. I'll pick it up next time.
Shopping episode.
Thank you very much for watching. That's good. You guys did that very well. It's the last threat, and we've made it to Yibrit.
Would you say that's a milestone?
I think you're pushing your luck.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's no way.
I'm expecting
not
those
quite.
to get rarer and rarer.
Yeah,
There we go.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the story progresses. Yeah, but no, you've made it on Yibrit. We'll kind of go through some more of the description and through things you see as you arrive next time. But
I'm drawing a map.
thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
See ya.